The eyewitnesses have said they believe, some of them believe it was your son calling out for help. No one saw him directly doing it or could say 100% for sure. You've heard the 911 call where you hear somebody calling out help. Do you believe that is your son's voice?
Yes, I do. I believe that's Trayvon Martin. That's my baby's voice. Every mother knows their child.
Tajay doing okay. Tajay is, she doing okay, but I'm just going to say her and Tamir was very, very close. It's like two peas in a bucket. They have a lot of similar ways. And, you know, they do share the same mom and dad, so that makes it, you know, very more closer than close. Just let me say that. And she just told me that she didn't know what she was going to do without her brother.
Joining us now from St. Louis, Michael Brown's mother, Leslie McSpadden, and family attorney Benjamin Crump in an ABC News exclusive. We want to say good morning to you both, and thank you very much for being with us. Mr. Crump, let me ask you this. What has been the reaction from the family with these results that are now known?
It's been very, very troubling. They answer some questions, but yet they offer many more. It confirms our worst fears that the witnesses were telling the truth, Robin, that her son was shot multiple times, and the most troubling is the headshot that, you know, it's just not justified in any way, fashion, or form to execute this child.
We should note that the examiner said, and these are his exact words, he was careful to say that these autopsy results by themselves do not assign blame or justify the shooting. This is one of 3 autopsy reports. The federal government will conduct one coming up. Explain the need for multiple autopsies.
Well, Robin, the family wanted to make sure that they had their own independent autopsy because there was no guarantee that the federal government was going to do an autopsy, and if they did not do it, then we would just be left with the St. Louis law enforcement officers' autopsy. And Leslie nor Mr. Michael Brown Jr. wanted to rely on the same police department that executed her child in broad daylight. So there was the need to have an independent autopsy, and this independent autopsy showed that he was shot in his head, his eye, his arm, his hand, and it was very troubling to this family, so they had to get the truth out.
I don't wanna cry no more, yeah. I don't wanna doubt, Lord, yeah. I don't wanna cry no more, yeah. I don't wanna cry no more, yeah. I don't wanna doubt, Lord, yeah. Thank God I'm alive, yeah. I gotta realize that I can't rely on them yet, no lie. But I'm trying to make a way out, yeah. I'm just trying to behave now, following the laws, that's the way out. Yeah, trials and tribulations of a slave now. Wanna be the one to say I'm happy that I came out. Yeah, light of pestilence and earthquakes. Yeah, Jerusalem is where I claim my birthplace. Check the signs and the times for the flee now. The ending crisis coming, that's the worst case. Damn. Shed tears for the ones that will stay here. I don't really wanna stay here. Now I don't wanna die, but I am gonna cry for my people that will stay here. I don't wanna cry no more. I don't wanna die, oh Lord, yeah. Thank God I'm alive, yeah. I gotta realize that I can't rely on them, yeah, no lie. Look, I don't wanna cry no more, yeah. I don't wanna die, oh Lord, yeah. Thank God I'm alive, yeah. I gotta realize that I can't rely on them, yeah, no lie, yeah. House of bondage be coming from out the slave route. Kingdom of heaven's the way to enter the main route. But going through it with family. The problems they handed me, I can't be. The truth is hurt from my family. The situations is critical. The great tribulation is coming now, it's getting physical. And also it's spiritual mark. What cost you eternal fire. Keeping commandments is all I ever desire. I don't wanna cry no more, yeah. I don't wanna doubt, Lord, yeah. I don't wanna cry no more, yeah. I don't wanna cry no more, yeah. I don't wanna die, oh Lord, yeah. Thank God I'm alive, yeah. I gotta realize that I can rely on him, yeah, no lie.
And everybody need to wake up, yeah. I tell you how I shot the comeback, yeah, he really need to come back. We gotta live righteous, yeah, how it said repent to keep the law, we should come back. Okay, we got another chance to do right. I wake up in the morning, thank my Father for my life. I thank you for your son that came and died, shedding blood. The only one protecting me and always showed me love, yeah, show me every day. Shed tears for the ones that will stay here. I don't really wanna stay here. Now I don't wanna die, but I am gonna cry for my people that will stay here.
I don't wanna cry no more, yeah. I don't wanna die, oh Lord, yeah. Thank God I'm alive, yeah. I gotta realize that I can rely on him, yeah, no lie. Look, I don't wanna cry no more, yeah. I don't wanna die, oh Lord, yeah. Thank God I'm alive, yeah. I gotta realize that I can rely on him, yeah, no lie, yeah.
I'm tired. I've been on this plantation all my life. I've been enslaved all my life. I'm tired of being pushed and pulled. I'm tired of the master doing his bidding. I want to leave.
You're doing this to yourself, Pats.
You know why we not afraid? What? Oh. He's great and terrible. Terrible is destruction. Y'all think it come back in all peace? You got another thing coming. So we out here fighting for our brother. We ain't marching saying yes we can. No justice, no peace. You go. Fight for your sons and your daughters.
I'm not wrapped too tight. Got 400 years on my back. I'm angry dog. I'm black like that. Won't contact with you whites. And all the niggas I stand here with, they share my same sentiment. I'm fucked up tonight. Won't kill my brothers no more. Want all the smoke, motherfucker popo. This is my battle cry. Oh. Isaiah 14:21, that ancient version of that gun that. Oh. They stole our name, they stole our shit. We real Judites, motherfucker Jewish. We lords. Generals, arm your soldiers. We fight tonight like we supposed to. They inherited lies. I'm referring to all whites. I'm referring to riches, white privilege, given through genocide. And they gotta pay for that. God say Jacob gon' take it back. I cry aloud, I spare not. This good bread, my sharecrop. This lily grew through concrete. We march to our own drum beat. We the chosen. No inclination to kick it with y'all. Raise Babylon to the ground, then watch it fall. Obadiah said you'll be wiped up for theft. These are just words, worry about what come next. It's for Negroes, Latinos, we better than all, not equal. My natives no red dot that feather. Me primo be smooth like that leather. Until it's time to bring the war dogs out, put the headdress on. War paint and I'm not wrapped too tight. Got 400 years on my back. I'm angry dog. I'm black like that. Won't contact with you whites. And all the niggas I stand here with, they share my same sentiment. I'm fucked up tonight. Won't kill my brothers no more. Want all the smoke, motherfucker popo. It's my battle cry. I got the spirit of grandfathers past. Front porch sitters, Nat Turner dangerous. A real life illustration of angry and that painting of Malcolm staring out the window with patience. One hand on the curtain, right hand on the AK spits. 47 rounds, all to bring down Satan. Same way Abel was killed by Cain. This will be an introduction from the fuck shit into the fire. Probably join the list of artists who died before they retired. Most High said I'm hired. Sire will never spit a line aimed at my kind, less meant to uplift. Toughness will be redefined in my rhymes. A squad of men with the spirit of God, with an affinity to point their weapons not at the brethren but at the enemy. Khaki colored kids, baptized in the flames of combat, fashioned in the trap we escaped. Our fate was to be great and noble. Moses reincarnate, so be hopeful and know I bring word from A and O to Pharaoh and white folk. Let my people go, cause it's my battle cry.
All right, Israel, Shalom, Most High bless. Thank y'all for tuning in to People's Edification. All right, so we're going to continue the conversation. Hopefully, everything goes well, just like last night. Unfortunately, I do have some bad news. The brother who supposedly came on, that we supposed to been holding a discussion with, Tobiah, decided he didn't want to do the live anymore. And I'm going to tell y'all what he said. He agreed he was going to come on. He's a chart pusher. And I didn't want to cancel the show because everybody was here already looking forward to it. But it was funny. All of a sudden, he decided not to come on when he said he was going to come on. And he wanted to talk about speckled bird and things like that for as a chart. And it was a guide. So we set everything up so we can have a discussion. Him and another brother supposed to want to come on. So he said, I no longer acknowledge. No. This is what he said for the show tonight. He said, can't come on, not going to argue about something stupid of a made-up chart. But I'm like, how is the chart made up when you got pictures, you on your photo of you, of your profile picture is you and your brothers is teaching, and you got the 12 tribe chart there. And you said it was a guide, and the Lord's people is a speckled bird, and you want to defend whatever you want to defend. Now, all of a sudden, you can't do it. This is the shit I be saying about these guys. They be on Facebook, all these other platforms. What's the other joint they be on? Clubhouse, all these different platforms in the back chat talking hella crazy. And And then we like, all right, well, let's just have a brotherly discussion about it. Then when we were going to do it, everybody gets scared then. So then he said, I'm no longer acknowledge the New Testament. I'm Torah only. I don't worship idols. I said, I don't worship idols either. But now you want to talk about the New Testament stuff. This is the shit I be saying. Like, these guys can't make up their mind. So I don't know if I want to even have a discussion with him no more. Not even on that. Because these guys get scared over nothing. Nothing. You feel me? If you teaching it or that's what you believe it. I don't have a problem with that. But when you come on post, you talk shit, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. You're going to defend this, you believe that, and you're going to talk about it. And then when it's the time to do it, these guys just run. They totally ran. So hopefully some brothers may come on tonight. Some brothers may not. I don't know. But I'm going to leave the panel open for anybody who want to discuss the 12 tribe chart still, because the brother pretty much Coward out. He said, I know the 12 tribe chart is garbage, but if you know it's garbage, why are you on the corner teaching it? Can y'all make it make sense for me? If you know it's wrong, why are you teaching it? Why would you be on the street corner telling people you're Etham, you're Issachar, you Manasseh, you Reuben, and you know it's not right? Don't make sense. So you just blatantly lying. And then when we want to talk about and have a discussion, you want to send all these pop shots on social media, but then when it's time to discuss the scriptures, everybody want to run. It's just unbelievable. So I didn't want to cancel the show. Plus, Kahan and everybody else said they still was going to come on. So I'm pretty sure somebody may come on. But other than that, family, we still want to discuss it. The whole 12 tribe chart. No matter what. Whether them dudes or that dude come on or whoever else come on. I think the guy from Torah Nights, I think his name is Mortal Kombat or something like that. Mexican guy. He trying to say that Israel is mixed. We all scattered using same scriptures the other guy was using from last night. The mixed multitude, the whole mixed multitude thing, which we know that's not true. It's many scriptures that can prove that Israel is not a mixed multitude. I agree with the chart. Hey, stop that, Elder. You know damn well you don't agree with no 12 tribes chart. They don't even agree with the chart because all of them got different charts. GOCC got a different chart. Now, Mashayach Yahawashi got a different chart. GMS, they used the original chart. And then that's another chart I have around here that got the Dutch, French, Portugals, all these other places that was made up that I got from a passport some years ago from another brother. So everybody is on the chart except Dan. Where's the tribe of Dan? Shalom, Most High bless. Shalom, Lima, Star, Yevon, Triana, all the moderators and everybody that's tuning in. Please like and share the video. Elder Qanath will be here in a few. And you know, whenever y'all want to get this thing started, we're gonna get this thing started and move on from there. And
Shalom, Most High bless.
Shalom, Most High bless. How you feeling, Kahan?
Yeah, oh man, he ticking out, man.
Hey, they always do, bro. They
always ticking out, man.
Talked all that shit and ran, didn't he?
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing about it, man. He was talking all that shit. And he was talking like acting like he know. But then all of a sudden, right? now he come back. Oh, I'm Old Testament only.
Right. From one day he's don't believe in the chart anymore, and now he's Old Testament. Ain't that fucking
lying? You're kicking out or you're lying.
From one day, you went from believing the chart, teaching the chart, and now you Old Testament. What the fuck happened overnight?
Shashem, this is what I believe. I believe he checking out and ran, man. He already he seen niggas was ganging up on him, man. He couldn't defend it.
I'm not surprised. Shalom, Don P. What's going on now?
Shalom, Don P.
Oh, he might probably trying to get his mic and everything together. Yeah, family. The dude pretty much ran. So sorry about the inconvenience.
Yeah, I was trying to unmute. Shalom.
That work though.
Would you run into a burning building?
No.
With gasoline draws on?
No. But the way he was talking like he knew. He was real confident in everything he wanted to speak on. I'm like, okay, no problem. Out of enough, like, well, what do you want to talk about? Speckled bird, Hosea 7 and 8. Hey, no problem. We can go over that. He chickened out.
The problem is, you know, they so concentrated on the things of this world that they don't have an eye on what's really going on. Like, folks don't really know what's going on with this whole Ukraine thing and the United States, and why the United States is so willing to give them so much money. Why I'm saying this, why I'm bringing this in, is because it's very important as it relates to our future. See, these fools then already stated, yep, we are the Khazarians and we're going back to Khazaria. And so we need space made for us so we can go back into Khazaria. And you know where Khazaria is. Part of that is the Donbass region and all that, bruh. That's what this is all about. The Zionists are trying to move their headquarters because they know that they ain't supposed to be in the land that belongs to us. And so how that relates back to the charts is, you ain't bringing all these fools up in here. Matter of fact, you ain't getting up here in here with all your false doctrine.
Well, you know, the brother said something yesterday. I had looked over again. He said something about, you born as one in the land. That makes you one of us, right? Which is a lie because, like I said, the Holy Land is full of the Khazarians and it's full of the Gentiles. Do that make them one of us? They born over there in that land now?
No, it's
exactly
the blood of the Father. It's by the seed of the Father.
Exactly.
And no two ways about that.
That's what I wanted to get to, because I just think it's a crazy thing that everybody think that Israel just going to be mixed when we know that that's not true.
We watching prophecy, man. We watching prophecy unfold, man. We watching Gog and Magog. We watching the feet right now. The iron of the feet being Rome. That's the Rusas. And the clay being China. See, they coming together for this final play. They put their financial system together. And you're going to have these two systems when the rest of the Western world turns their back on the United States. The whore. The little head, the little horn that talks a lot of shit.
Con, if anybody want to come on, y'all welcome to come on. We having an open panel tonight, open discussion. So it's not an issue as long as we keep everything mainly on topic.
Right.
Because supposed to be a couple other brothers that believe in the chart, they got scared. Don't know why. They was pretty confident, but decided to not come on now. And I don't think it would have even been crazy. I thought it was going to be a good build because brothers was talking cordially, and then now it's like every time we bring up the 12 tribe chart discussion, everybody wants to push it, make jokes on comment boards, and talk all crazy, but they don't want to come on and talk about it. Which I just find ironic. But they'll go out every Shabbat and teach it, but don't want to talk about it. Like, it's crazy.
Got to keep that grinding, man. Got to keep them lights on. You know what I'm saying? Pastor Pork Chop and them ain't, hey, the Lord have passed away, but hey, don't forget my tithes now. No. You know what I'm saying? It's all a hustle, bro. It's all a game. It's all game to them. It's all hustle to them. When we are about life and life more abundantly with the Father and with the Son, and what's been promised, our inheritance, because we done been through enough. What the woman say in the video? I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I don't have those many feelings in my life, Shasham, where I'm just tired. They have told us so many lies predicated upon bullshit. Why am I not married? Why don't I have a family? Because I bought into the lies when they switched up the game. See, actually I do right now. I earn a living with my hands. But the lie was, you gonna earn a living, a good living. All you got to do is go get you a good education. And all they get you is student loan debts. I would rather be an electrician or a plumber right now, learning them crafts. And I almost went into being a merchant. That's what I was really trying to do when I was 18. going into being a merchant marine and traveling the world and having free room and board and making thousands of dollars while doing all that, right? But you have to understand, man, they set up all these situations for non-college educated white men to be able to create a substantive life for themselves and their family and perpetuate this white supremacy of a society and population that we have going forward. That's why, blacks couldn't be real estate agents. That's why all the car salesmen were white men. And they were putting their children through college and shit like that. And the ones that couldn't get through college, guess what, brother? The degree mill is a multi-billion-dollar industry. You can buy whatever degree you want. So I find it highly insultive when motherfuckers question our credentials, which are real, because we can't afford to do that bullshit, nor do we have the money to pay for up front, to pay for degrees and transcripts and all that shit, only for it to come back where if you do a check, the university goes, we've never had a student enrolled then, or we've had a student enrolled, but they didn't complete their degree program. And then the other thing about them paying to get their kids in the school, their dumbass kids in the school, and then having Nigerians do their whole fucking program and earn their degree for them. So
we're gonna bring some scriptures out too.
Yep. Go on, I'm ready.
We're gonna definitely bring some scriptures out, and we're gonna speak on the chart and them polluting the sea. But go ahead, Don P. Let me finish.
Oh, nephew, I was just giving some fodder, some background about where we're going anyway with this whole chart and everything, man, because it's mad crazy, man. It's mad crazy. You want to include our enemies, not just other people. These are our freaking enemies.
Well, my thing is this, right? When you have the chart, it gives people that's non-Israelites position of power over other full-blooded, honorable Israelites. Like we'll use, for example, Cockroach of the ISUPK, the one who hangs with Tazariak. He's disrespectful, right? He's a boaster. He really believed that he's an Israelite. He talk a lot of shit to a lot of people, and he only do that because Tazariak is by his side, and he thinking that nobody won't ever run up on him or put hands on him because he think, oh well, I could just say anything to anybody, and as long as I got Tazariak, I'm good. Nobody ain't scared of Tazariak, but sooner or later you're gonna say the wrong thing to the wrong person, and he ain't gonna have no teeth because the man is very disrespectful. Tazariak was on a show. They was questioning him about Mahayim, the stuff he said, and he was on there being disrespectful, calling guys bitch me, and they was like all because they was talking to him, having a cordial conversation. But he does that all the time. That's that heathenistic blood in him. Even when like his mouth, you know the scripture, smooth as butter, but war is in his heart. That's him. He has a hatred for the Negro man, the dark-skinned, woolly hair, real black man. He has a hatred for us because he's not one of us, and he knows it. He's an infiltrator. He's an agent. Captivity is his future. I tell him all the time, you're going into slavery, no matter what you say, you can't run from it, but you're going in the cotton field. And he know that, but he's living it up as long as he can. But Cockroach, a guy like that, he's in a position of power over real Israelites because of the chart. Just like yesterday, when you look at the thumbnail, you got guys marrying heathen women because of the chart. The reason why the chart need to be destroyed because it's the biggest stumbling block and it's causing Israel to sin. The stumbling block, to be truthful, is the modern day mixed multitude. That's all it is. Just look at it. From out of the wild, you got some type of feedback. It's the modern day mixed multitude. When you look at the whole chart, it's causing Israel to sin. That's why I said, why in most of the camps and congregations, they marry women that don't look like them. Majority of them, when you look at all the Israelite weddings, they not marrying someone that look like them. They marrying these so-called Hispanics and other women who they hold more value over the black women. And it's facts. You got to ask yourself that. Pastor Dow don't have no problem marrying Edomites with real Israelites because they think that this stuff okay. Same thing in GOCC. So what is really going on here? You see what I'm saying? What is really going on here? They causing Israel to sin with the whole chart thing. It's better not if we have no chart, because as long as you promote that and we use that and teach that, it gives those brothers excuses of mixing and sleeping with women of other nations. But go ahead, I yield the floor.
Khan. That's all it is, man. It's just a big, you know what I'm saying, distraction. It's just a big hump of confusion. Like, you got 3 tribes on there, man. This Negro board where indigenously all black people come from. But you trying to tell us all these other 9 tribes, they just started off like that. No.
Well, see, this like I said, the killer is this too, Khan. When we discovered that all of Jacob wives was sovereign women, they all was black. Now you got a problem, because they remember their excuse was Israel started mixed because Zilpah and Bilhah were women of a nation. They'll try to say, oh, they heathens or they was Africans, which they never proved or anything. They all say that we started off mixed because of Zilpah and Bilhah, and they never proved that they was of any of them nations when they actually Cyrene women. So that cuts them there, because they still came out of Abraham's stock, which Laban's stock, which was his daughters. So that's a good thing there. When you look at that, now when you look at
before and 12,
right, exactly. Now when you look at Judah and Issachar, and they got the same mother Leah, right? Issachar is a Mexican. Who a good Mexican, a famous Mexican we could use for example?
Canelo
Alvarez.
Right, Canelo Alvarez, and then you got Floyd Mayweather, right? You gonna tell me they came out the same womb from the same mother?
No.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying. Just put the common sense to it. Now, another example. Benjamin, right? When you look at the chart, Benjamin is supposed to be the Jamaicans, West Indies, right? Who is Benjamin's brother? With the same mother. Y'all know?
Wasn't it
Joseph. Exactly. So now you want to tell me Joseph is a Puerto Rican and Benjamin is a West Indian?
Yep, that's what they're saying.
Right?
They
don't even look the same, right? They look like 2 totally different people, but they got the same mother. Is that not confusion? Shalom, sis. Most High bless. So we know that that's a problem there. I want you to get
Hey nephew, check this out.
Yeah,
the one who supposedly had the birthright. How you looking right now?
Oh, you talking about Esau?
No. The one who had the birthright. Remember, Yusuf got the birthright.
Right.
And that's supposed to be Puerto Rico. They looking a little toe up right now, man, on a double portion thing.
Yeah. Hold on. Y'all go ahead and take over. I'll be right back. I got to do something real quick, okay?
It just don't make sense, man, historically, man. It just don't. Like I said, Some of those charts got for and before I even get to the land masses, let's get to how y'all trying to identify them. Genesis 49. Let me pull that up. No, give me a second. Let me pull that up real quick. Genesis chapter 49.
And hey, out of the ward. And so I want you to give us a whole thing about the whole issue too with the elders of GMS was saying about how they were so emotional because they was treated funny because people ain't think that they was Israelites back in the old school because of their skin complexion, and they looked like they was, because I heard something about something they had in the old school. I don't know if you ever mentioned it, but they said they had a brown paper bag test. You know anything about that?
Who me?
Yeah, the brown paper bag test they had back in the old school.
I ain't never seen it. It might have been, but I ain't never seen it. Never seen
Okay.
it.
But I want to pose a question to the chat and everyone.
Wait, before you move on, Shasham,
Yeah.
you can extrapolate from the general society and its sentiment that there was a brown paper bag test, because we had a brown paper bag test in the general society.
Well,
So you can definitely extrapolate
my
that.
understanding, they had a brown paper bag test in One West. So
Yeah, so you can definitely extrapolate that
brother,
because that was what was in the society, in our culture, excuse me,
right?
in our general culture. So I can't imagine that they wouldn't have it.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, Don P. Genesis 49:27, right? It says, Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. Now, how do you get now my question is this right here. How do you get West Indians / Jamaicans out of that? How do we know that's the tribe of Benjamin? How do we
Well,
know that that's them for that? From
well,
that understanding?
according to them, it's because they have the reggae music and they be hollering and singing Zion, so that what makes them the tribe of Benjamin.
Wow. Wow.
That's
Man,
what.
that is so elementary, man. That's not even on the scholastic level. That ain't nothing.
Well, it's not
They say
biblical.
they say that because of the Jamaican music,
Mm-hmm.
and because they talk about Babylon a lot in the Jamaican music.
Mm-hmm.
Man, don't they know, man? These dudes is comical, bro. First off,
Go ahead, Con. I'll be right back. I got to do something real fast.
come. First off, the scripture don't even say nothing about. He don't got nothing to do with music at all. Genesis 49:10, verse 27, right? It says, Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. So they saying that this the howling, right? Of the dance hall culture. And it says in the morning he should devour the prey. What is that talking about? And what is this? And in the night he should divide the spoil. How are we taking this verse right here and just putting it and just saying, look, this is the tribe of Benjamin is the Jamaicans and West Indians. Because if they don't know, when you say West Indies, that includes all them other tribes which they want to claim, like Puerto Rico, Cuba, all that. So all that region, the Caribbeans, all that's named the West Indies. So how are we pinpointing these tribes out like that, man? But I'll let Don P or Elder Taylor go. You want
Uh,
to get in there, Elder?
all they did was they went to these areas where the Roman Empire had enslaved our people according to prophecy, and they took the Euro people from there and called them our tribes. Because you have to understand, the Euro people can travel outside of those areas. Our people are stuck there, just like most of our people are stuck here. Most of our people have not been able to get outside of the United States to travel, let alone to live. And so this is the misconception. I believe that people in Brazil, in South America, in the Isles, I believe those are all, lineage of us, of the tribes. But what they did was they allowed that Eurocentric bulls to come in and say, well, all people from there. And it's like, no, it ain't all people. And man, it's a trip just watching out what's going on in world events. I mean, this Ukraine thing is huge in terms of its spiritual ramifications and eschatology. It's huge. It's huge. These folks are trying to vacate the land. Why are they trying to vacate the land? Because the Most High is making space for us to return, for him to bring us back to the land. Which is really, really, really interesting, because it's going to be two kingdoms that are going to come to a bulkhead, and there's going to be the war. So what these niggas is talking about on this simple ass chart, I mean, first of all, miss me, and you going down to Gehenna in your sins with your false doctrine, and all the woes to you for misleading these innocent children. It would be better for you to have never been born, or it was still on the millstone. What's the other one about the millstone? What's the other one about the millstone?
Yeah, throw a millstone on your neck.
Mm-hmm.
That chart ain't nothing but a big deception, man. And they always want to say, well, why? Well, let the we go. That's that chart, man. He's bringing us together. Like dude said, I tried to insinuate the other day, talking about that where it's became more advanced and all that. Like, nah, man. That chart, man, started as a lie, man. No lie is of the truth. The scriptures tell us that. So if this, of no lie is of the truth, then why are we out there, man, giving reference to the chart? And when we know where it come from. See, you can go from the chart with multiple angles, man. You can go and cut that chart with multiple angles.
Now they got the new chart. Now they got the new chart.
Huh?
They got the new improved chart now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, and you know what you know what they did? They took, and that they know, because you can tell they know. Black scattered all throughout. That they know. And it's gonna be them.
Huh.
That's why we call them wicked elders, because they not speaking up against truth or for truth.
But I'm gonna tell you for real,
money.
For real, in terms of the entire what is occurring and how we should be watchful and so forth, this warrants only like 5% of our attention. The only thing that really we have an obligation in is in the fact that they're leading others astray.
Right.
And our only responsibility in that is to speak the truth in love.
And that's what we gotta do.
And bring those, because those people, they so far gone. I don't know if the spirit can help them. I don't know. That's not my job. It's not my job. But
right.
I know this. Y'all almost got me. until you put your pan down. And it was like, oh, okay, I see you. You ain't no different than anything that I've seen in the past.
Mm-hmm.
You bought that
Ain't
money.
nothing but another form. This Hebrew Israelite sect and all that stuff, man, that they talk. It ain't nothing but another form of Christianity, man. I'm gonna keep it a
Come on,
buck.
man. Come on, man.
Let's keep it. Let Don P. Let's keep it a buck. It
And
ain't nothing
Shelly.
but another form of Christianity because none of the camps is together. We don't all believe the same thing. One thing you look at the Nation of Islam, we know they under 501c3s and OEs and all that
We don't
crap.
even talk about them niggas.
Yeah, we don't even want to. But I only want to reference
Them
one point
thugs.
that
Them
they kept the
thugs.
appearance they together.
Them thugs. We don't talk about them thugs. They ain't number thugs, bro. I done had personal rundowns with them, cuz, in Oakland.
Yeah, I know they
Niggas
heavy
shook me
out there.
down. Niggas shook me down. So we good.
Okay, we understand that.
Yeah.
I
They ain't
understand
number
that.
thugs.
But my point, see, this is what for the point I'm driving home right here. See, you got all these different elders, all out, man. Ain't none of these dudes believe. The only thing they believe is that blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, is Israelites, and the chart. That's the only thing y'all got in common. Doctrine wise, they don't believe all in the same thing. It ain't no different. With them unity camps they do, it ain't no different from the fourth Sundays out of the month where all the other where every church in the city meet up. Yeah, where every church meet up and they got everybody, all the pastors. You have
Yeah.
TD Jason, you had TD Jason, Joe Osteen, all of them coming to one church for like one Sunday. That ain't nothing but the same thing these dudes doing with this unity camp stuff.
These folks crack
They don't
me up.
believe in everything.
These folks crack me up
Mm-hmm.
because the thing about it is the law is straightforward.
Yep.
And the prophecies are straightforward in the direction that they're supposed to take you. And the direction they're supposed to take you is a direction that's supposed to make you go deeper. Okay? In what the prophecies are saying. And from there, you can unlock the mysteries of the prophecy that being granted to you by the Ruach HaKodesh based on your heart's desire to know the truth and to walk in the truth. It's not just to know the truth, but it's to know the truth and
Know the
walk in
truth
the
and
truth.
walking.
And so that's his responsibility, is to lead you into all truth
Mm-hmm.
so that you can walk in it. And to those who have been given more will be given, when you honor what you've been given. See, a lot of people get stuff and that becomes to their demise because they desired it for unlawful means,
Right.
like Simon Magus. You know, let me, can I let me write you a check for that so I can get down. It's like,
Okay.
no. It's like, no,
Right.
not for you. That's not the way it goes. And so a lot of these cats, they desire, like he did, the office with
Yep.
the power without having the purity of heart
Right.
and the true desire to serve the one who gives the power.
Right. Like Sharshan was saying on one video. See, a lot of these dudes, man, they former hustlers, former street thugs, and all that, man. They used to be in the
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And all of them, man, they come in and they say, "Oh, General Hunter put me through a drug program, man." They ain't nothing but the same stuff, man. They get a Christian church. They filed as a Christian church or Islamic, but now they filed both. Both IUIC and ISBK has filed on the Christian church. That's why they say I ran in I was working. This is when I was working security, right? Had a dude, right? Security.
Go ahead. I want to share this after you done. Go ahead.
All right, cool. Basically, dude told me, it was an IUIC dude. He was going to paint the new school down here, right? They just put the new school down here, and so they basically dude, he basically told me, he was like, well, y'all know him as Bishop, they think we know him as General, they think we call him General. We do that, and you can tell it's a front to everybody else, but we know the underlying agenda.
Hey, nephew, let me get a couple seconds on this topic real quick, because you're gonna jump in yours and it's gonna take us someplace, because I know you got something good for us. And what I wanted to say was this: my elder males, they used to say, and the reason why they didn't go to church and stuff like that, because they said it was just a pimp gang. And so that's why the churches were just filled with women, because these men in their age group was like, no, this ain't nothing but straight pimpery and all kinds of other stuff going on up in there, right? But what's a trip is this, and this is how the Most High works. At the end of their lives, towards the end of their lives, they started seeking. And the problem was, there was no one to actually give them the guidance and the truth. And that's the sad part. Where's Shasham?
Shasham, you can play your video now. Shalom, everybody in the chat. Shalom, Weeze, One Love. Shalom, Oracle. Shalom, Nehemiah. Shalom, Pete, Grace and Peace. K. Judah. Big salute. Shalom, Scoring Black Man. Yavin, Naphtali.
Hold on.
Y'all.
Now you got
y'all.
Now I want to play this video real quick, right? Because like this is a product of what the chart made. So everybody know Elder Tahar, he would be called considered a half-breed, but he's a leader of an Israelite congregation. Actually, three of them are Ramlab, Gabar, and Elder Tahar. All of them are half-breeds.
Hey, Shasham, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Don't call that man elder.
No,
you feel me? You feel me?
Elder, I still show him respect. So, you know, even
elder of what?
I mean, well, he is an
elder. Refers to us. Elder refers to us in our tribe, in our family, in our nation.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's still an elder man. So
he's an elderly man. It's what you're saying.
Hold on, let me play this video.
I get you.
Well, we be in the last days. Can you clear this up for me too about the shop? Now, the 12-5 sign is you can't really say it's accurate, and you can't really say it's accurate, and you can't really say it's accurate.
That means your breakdown is bullshit.
Your elders don't even use a chart. They don't even have a chart out when they teach.
Hypnotize them.
Hypnotism is a powerful thing, man. Look, when we come out here and we teach you, all these people that came to GMS, guess what? We hypnotize you into coming to GMS, man. Yep. We hypnotize you into coming to GMS, man. Yeah. We brainwashed you. Yeah. We brainwashed you. Them guys be brainwashing you. Damn right, we brainwashed you, man.
Then the antics and the gimmicks that you guys are pulling out here, man. But we put more emphasis on you, Tahar, because we came from under you. And he the top elder of all. That's right, if we can receive it. No, we can't receive that shit. We can't.
All 49 prophesied while we've been in the last days. Can you clear this up for me too about the shop? Now, the 12-5 sign is you can't really say it's accurate, and you can't really say it's accurate, and you can't really say it's accurate.
That means your breakdown is bullshit.
Your elders don't even use a chart.
They don't even have a choice out when they teach.
Yeah, hypnotize them.
Yep, hypnotize them. Hypnotism is a powerful thing, man. Look, when we come out here and we teach you, all these people that came to GMS, guess what? We hypnotize you into coming to GMS, man. Yep. We hypnotize you into coming to GMS, man. Yeah. We brainwashed you.
And
Brainwashed
there it is, Shashan.
Them guys be brainwashing you. Damn right, we brainwashing you, man.
Than the antics and the gimmicks that you guys are pulling out here, man. But we put more emphasis on you, Tahar, because we came from under you. And he the top elder of all. That's right, if we can receive it. No, we can't receive that shit. We can't.
So now, after saying that, right, and that's out the elder's own mouth, show you that they blatantly lying. This man just clearly told you they brainwashing the people. So my thing is, imagine how many people is being brainwashed in the knowledge every year that's coming up in the school of thought behind us. When I walked into school of thought 11 years ago, and you got these guys coming in right now, and they telling you they blatantly brainwashing the people. Okay, blatantly brainwashing the people, using the people. Now we know that they use the chart to increase sin of Israel, and that's what it's doing. Read Luke 20 and 46 for me, Kahan. Because all these guys, man, they just like the modern day scribes and Pharisees. You know, they preach and push law, and they don't keep any of this stuff to themselves. Even the elders at GMS, they admit that they go by prostitutes. They get tithes from everybody. They're not working. They letting them pay their wages. So you don't work, you don't eat. All of this shit is a hustle. Okay? So that's a hustle. And to me, that's not what it's supposed to be about. We're supposed to be in the business of saving souls and bringing people back into the fold and trying to get people into salvation, not lying to them so that you don't have to work.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? You can come online and teach a bunch of followers. You know better than TD Jakes. You know better than Creflo Dollar. You know better than the Christian pastors in the church. You are exactly the same as them. Go ahead.
Luke 20 and 46. Beware of the scribes, which desire to walk in long robes and love greetings in the markets, and the highest seats in the synagogues, and the chief rooms at feasts.
Right. And y'all see that today in the camps. Y'all saw IUIC Passover. The Passover to them is ladies single nights. Who want to get married? Where the hell that's at in the script? We're about to have a fashion show. These brothers got on spectacular garments. This is what we be talking about, man. This is
charging an arm and a leg for a Passover.
Right.
$400 for just to go to Passover. Where all that money going? Come on, man.
Now, let me really mess your head up. Remember back in the days of Yeshua, you had all them cats that was up there. If they was righteous, he wouldn't have been talking about them. But what they was, the ones he was talking about, they was fakes, phonies, and frauds. And this is what we're seeing exactly today. Yeah, you put on your title, you up in the Sanhedrin, but you ain't supposed to be up in there because you a fake, phony, and fraud. You one of them fakesters that we see on the chart. You ain't nothing but a seed of Esau.
He wasn't saying that jokingly, brother. That man was not saying that jokingly.
Nobody. Which man?
He was not saying that jokingly. Right.
He was saying it jokingly. He wasn't saying that jokingly, bro. That man's serious, bro. They brainwashing people. They've been brainwashing people.
Oh yeah,
that's why they doing it.
I'm saying
tell you,
it's a serious comparison.
Tell you if you lead that camp, even IUIC got that thing saying if you lead your name gonna get erased off the book of life.
Yeah.
GOTC said they the way, they the truth. That's what Elder McCall said on the video. So he was not right. He wasn't joking when he said that.
That's man's talk.
Let me finish this verse up. Luke 20:47. It says, which devour widow houses, and for a show make long prayers, the same shall receive greater damnation.
Exactly.
My point was that we're seeing the same thing. We're seeing imposters, okay, that are saying they are the seed of Yaakov, and they're not. That's what they trying to put into position something that had already occurred in the past. You know how you had all them Idumeans, them Edomites that was up in, yeah, that's what we seeing right here. Where they trying to push them into the seed of Yaakov, and they ain't nothing with no seed.
Let me tell you what's crazy though, right? Ever since FOPE opposed the chart, you got brothers in the nation that gives more respect to Guerrilla Hebrew, Elder Tahar, people that's not even full-blooded Israelites, give them more love and respect than what they give us, all because we oppose a lie. The chart is what made them. If it wasn't for the chart, these kind of men would not have been birthed. When you think about El Tahar, he's a half-breed, right? He came up with the crazy rape doctrine. That's his doing. Guerrilla Hebrew, he got a new doctrine saying, in the kingdom, Yahawashi gonna get crucified and killed again, and you can sleep with any woman you want.
Right.
All
These
these
niggas
crazy
are
doctrines comes from half-breeds.
Stupid
It's
niggas.
the whole Bible, not the word of God.
What do you call it? Sottish.
Got that.
Sottish individuals. Now, the thing about it is, what they're trying to do is bring disorderly conduct. Disorderly conduct. Anytime you want to subjugate the Ivrim, the Yehudis, anytime you want to subjugate, all you have to do is get them to transgress the law, because they lose the favor. They lose the privilege that was given to them as birthrights of the children of Yahuwah. And see, the thing about it, folks don't understand. This is what folks don't understand. We are a completely different being from every other being on this planet. Every other being on this planet are people. We are human, which means, when you break down the etymology of words, we come from the dirt. We come from the humus. That's what makes us human beings. That's why our DNA is different from these other people, because we're human beings and they are people. I don't know what beings they are. Do you underdig what I'm saying? See, because when you get into, like, when you start really digging into the spirit realm in terms of what the fallen look like and the curses that were given to them, you will understand their reproduction. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
How you doing, Qanath?
I'm doing great. Most High bless everybody. Oh man, sorry, Sham. You know, man, it goes right back off for a long day.
You good? I'm gonna show this video too of the Ethiopian.
What happened? Did I miss anything? Did the guy come on?
No, he chickened out, bro. He claimed he don't believe in the chart, and now he's Old Testament. I'm like, from one day you went from
California utility company is paying a massive fine after their aging equipment sparked two wires.
I say, from one day you went from believing the chart to Old Testament.
Right. Right.
Comedy.
Hey, can I let me get this scripture real quick. It's 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 1. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring in damnable heresy, denying the Lord that brought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. Verse 2. And many
New
shall
Clorox
follow their
disinfecting mist,
ways
aerosol free and kills
by reason.
99.9% of germs on hundreds of surfaces.
What's going on?
Somebody rogue up on here.
That's shame. Go ahead.
All right.
What's wrong?
Verse 2. Verse 2.
Y'all can hear my y'all can hear sound. I got my
Yeah.
mic.
Yeah, we heard the Clorox Bleaks commercial. That's all right. I muted it. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Con.
Verse 2. And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. Verse 3. And through covetousness shall they with vain words make merchandise of you. This is them charging $400, $500 for a Passover. This is them charging brothers
a garment every year. Why you gotta buy a new garment?
Right. Every year.
Yeah.
Right. How much them garments used to cost? What, $1,500, man?
Oh, I don't know. I ain't never bought
Yeah,
it.
it's some people out here making garments $2,000 and stuff like that every year. You mean tell me you dropping two racks on there, man, for
we paid $30 for a garment.
That's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about. That pimp game. You got to have a special garment, and it's got to be hand woven by sister. Whoa.
Right.
And you got to pay 2 racks for that. See, that's still that old pimp game that they've been running ever since Master gave them the slave Bible.
The brother
asked, let's get to it like 100. Let's get to it like this.
What's worse, the chart or the ranking system? What you think, Elder Qanath?
Both of them a lie. So
what you think, Kahan? You was in ISUPK for a while.
All of them, man.
Both equally is trash. Listen, the ranking system, man, like I said, is made to keep men subject under men. Even if the Most High increase you in knowledge and you know more than the God that's over than you, he always gonna. I've not seen this. Shema. They try to take over. They want to be seen. Even if they wrong, like I'm gonna give an example, right, of the ranking system. Their General Mahayim, right? He's an example of an idiot. The guy say anything out of his mouth. He teach shit that he should not be. But because they under him, they gotta say, that's right, sir. Yes, sir. That's right, sir. Come, I don't want to come. They gotta agree with some shit that shouldn't they gotta agree with false teaching. That's the ranking system. So both of them is trash. Anytime you can't disagree with your peer. But go ahead.
No, you look at what happened to our brother. What happened to our brother with House of David? They never can't. They kick him out for a small disagreement. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's crazy. Same thing.
You supposed to entertain. The scriptures tell you entertain every godly discourse. That's what the scriptures tell you. Let me get that.
Most High bless everybody in the chat. I see y'all. Most High bless you.
I'm gonna play this video too, Qanath, for the pictures of the Ethiopian, the Bible that they got showing how the Messiah looked with his people. You don't see no Hispanics, no Native Americans, or any kind of people in these books that they hold. So I don't understand how all of a sudden 9 tribes did a metamorphosis and look like someone else. And another thing, when you deal with the so-called Mexicans, right? When you go into the book of Leviticus, it talks about the priest can't be short. The average height of a Mexican is what, 5'3" and lower?
Yep.
So you're gonna tell me that when the Lord say he's gonna make us a nation of kings and priests, I guess he's gonna decide to make them all at a required height, right? I mean, let's just keep it real.
It's not just Mexicans, it's just the South American continent with we call it Spaniards or Mongols.
Right.
Check this out. Well, for what Elder was just saying about the brother getting kicked out over disagreement and stuff like that. Sirach 6:35. Be willing to hear every godly discourse, and let not the parables of understanding escape thee. 6:36. And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee but be times unto him, and let thy foot wear the steps of his door. So you supposed to get under the man, brothers, and you know what I'm saying. If you got a discourse in this godly, man, you gotta, you know what I'm saying, hear people out, and that's the
Well,
thing,
that's
man.
true.
They don't want to see them in camps. They don't want to hear everything, guys. They just want to be stagnant.
Well, it's all
They
right.
got,
They got.
oh,
Let
go
me say
ahead.
this for you too, real quick. I don't. Well, for me personally, I don't have anything against them camps as far as some person with brothers, especially young brothers, people and sisters coming in. I don't have anything personal against them. You know, they set up by somebody. You know, so they got whatever it is they line to do. They gonna do it. Whatever it is we line to do, we supposed to do it. You know, but at the end of the day, y'all, it seems like they are afraid to even have a discussion. Some of them, some younger people not, but I don't know what happened with them. I guess they got ordered not to. Grown men, because we supposed to have one lined up the other day. And what was this brother here excuse, Sham?
You really want to hear it?
What he stumped his toe?
No, he said that he don't want to argue over something stupid. He no longer believe in the New Testament, and pretty much he don't believe in the chart. He want to discuss the old, the new, is Christ, you know, the Messiah, whatever like that. He don't want to discuss the chart anymore. And I'm like, damn, overnight, you was just saying all this stuff about the chart, and overnight now you don't believe in the New Testament no more, and you don't believe in the chart. That's fucking crazy. Overnight.
That's what happens. That's what happens to them.
I'd have been like, okay, sure, let's go ahead and have that build, because there ain't nothing for anybody to switch gears that are in the truth. It's like, okay, do you really want to debate that whether Yahusha is the Ha
Well,
Mashayach or not?
that
You
wasn't the
know,
conversation. The reason why I'm saying that because the live was already set up, and he was talking and
yeah.
saying, "Oh, he coming on," and then all of a sudden, okay, we going on the time. You ready? Then all of a sudden, no, I can't come on now, and I don't believe in the New Testament no more, and the chart's stupid. I know it's garbage and trash, but she was just saying it's a God, and you gonna show us, and speckled bird, the Lord's people, and all that stuff. And now all of a sudden now, oh, you can't teach. You don't know what we talking about. You don't want to talk about it.
A shot. I'd have been like, yeah, sure, sure, you can come on. And now now that I got your ass on here, now you gonna tell me why you switched up and why you believe now what you believe. I just let me get your ass up on here. Now you're gonna tell me, okay, well, why did you switch up? Did you realize that we were right and you were wrong? And now explain some things, cause see, when it comes down to it, this other stuff you believe, you don't get broke down on that too.
Hey,
Because see, you go with every wind of doctrine. You have no foundation. The
to me,
only foundation is built up on Yahushua HaMashiach. And if you don't have that foundation, brother, you don't got nothing.
well, look, we got 102 people in the building. I know y'all watching. You ain't gonna tell me there's 102
Right.
in here. If you for the chart, come on alive.
Come
We
on
can
alive and let's
And
discuss it.
holler.
we gonna
And
have a
holler.
brotherly discussion about it, and
And holler.
especially if you Hispanic, we're gonna let you talk and state your case, and tell us why you believe you Israel. We're not
We're very civil.
nobody enemy. You know what I'm
We're
saying?
very civil.
I'm
We're
just
very civil.
trying to have a good dialogue on it because it's a conversation that needs to be had. And this is what
Yeah.
y'all learned from our people. So basically, it's really you niggas' fault. Y'all told them this shit.
Right.
Y'all told them that shit.
And it's brothers over there that know they Israel and know the history who told us, like, look, y'all people taught them that, didn't it? Didn't the brother come on here and tell us that, Sharsham?
Exactly.
Like, y'all taught them that.
Man, it's like if people really understood history and if they really took the time to investigate, then they would understand. Listen, it happened in a lot of different ways. So we had the Portugal Spain thing, and then we had we had the thing with Ephraim and all down there in Ethiopia, and also South Africa. And I'm going by modern names. I'm not going by ancient names.
So according to them, this guy here is an Israelite.
Yeah, okay. Hey, what's interesting though? They just been recently saying they've been denouncing that
So she
blood lineage, if you will.
She would be an Israelite. That looked like one of the.
Why would she be an Israelite?
Because she's.
Why would she be an Israelite?
Because she's a Native American. She's Gad, according to them.
Yeah, I remember I told y'all a few years ago. I said what's going to happen eventually. They're going to start saying we don't know what color they was. They're going to stop saying Christ is black. They already start to do that right now. And some of these guys not saying anything. That's because I think a lot of them, man,
Hey, Qanath.
been compromised. At the end of the day, I think a lot of them been compromised.
Hey, Qanath, check this out. This is what's going on, baby. It's all unraveling, baby. We at the toes, baby. We at the steel in the clay. We at the steel in the clay.
Let me say this real quick too, Don P. Remember, they said this, right? And I was, this is something I brought up, and I forgot I had brought this up, and I was asking everybody to prove to me that the North American Indians are Gad, right? Because the scripture says that I believe it says Simeon and Gad was expert, skilled warriors of the sword and the bow, I believe, or the shield and bow, right? And when you remember the Native American,
right?
The Native American Indians, right? Show me anywhere in history where Israel just laid down and died and let people kill them. Remember that Native American Indians laid down in the snow and just died because they didn't want to be slaves. They didn't fight back or anything. So if they show me, you want to tell me the tribe of Gad was that weak, where they just laid down and died? Y'all ever read that or seen that when they ran in the snow, died because they didn't want to be slaves, saying that the work and bondage was too hard for them, so they rather die. They just laid down and died.
Hey, Shan, show my screen again. Real quick.
They just laid down and died.
Oh, you said you played video too, Shan, didn't you? Most have blessed, JT.
Hey, brothers and brothers, can I say something? Right now, they got the true warriors for Yahuwah dealing with something, and then they got the world focused on something else while they're doing what they're doing. I think, Qanath, before you got on, I was talking about what's really going on with this whole situation with the Ukraine.
So is this a Gadite or is this a bush? Hold on, let me show this picture. Right there. Wait, is that it? No.
Nope, that ain't no Gadite.
No, right here. Is this a Gadite or is that a bush person? Well, go ahead, Khan. You want to share the
No, I was just showing this new chart again, man. They look. They think they doing something by putting these black tribes on there. Then got at the bottom, blacks scattered in every nation throughout the four corners of the earth. Like what? Like y'all know.
This is a distraction.
There's no Indian
and that right there.
No.
Jay, your mic is
It's overwhelming, and that should be good for them. They want to come out, but they're trying to hide. They're trying to hide.
Jay, your mic.
Okay, look, we've been saying this. See at the bottom, we've been saying this.
See, they didn't change the
I'm sorry.
They
Go
didn't
ahead.
change the Mexicans and everybody. They didn't change them.
My thing is this: how can you be so precise when we were moving around throughout all it, and then when you look at all of our history, cumulative, how in the hell can you say that? Oh, well, the tribe of Gad was over here, and then the was over here, and man, come on, man, don't make me slap you.
Hold on, let me play this video real quick, Don P.
Okay, so we got this right. It rained a whole lot too. Piece of light, yeah. Break my neck out here. Of course, all this was carved.
Yeah. For drainage system, for accessible to each one another.
All out of this hard stone rock carved. Follow our hands without any light and with no words. I mean,
On MyHeritage, you can build your family tree and make amazing discoveries about your family history really easy.
we will reach the next church called Beta Mercurios.
That brother look like any brother over here.
And
Phenotype, look at
that. Symbol of heaven. And before heaven, we used to go through the dark tunnel, which is symbolically hell. So we're going to hell now. So follow me.
That's Rollo, bro.
All the things inside the churches. All right.
That's Rollo from around the way.
Okay, this is the old church here. So this is Beta Mercurios. Wait, hold on a second. Okay, you can get right behind here. Okay, so what we have here. So this is a painting which is from the 13th century and is still found in the church of Lalibela. And at the top you can see the three Trinities, the Trinity, the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. This is the top ones? Yeah, the top three ones. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Let's zoom in. And under that, the Son, or Jesus Christ, Jesus Christos. Which one? starting from here, this tells about
Right.
here
Okay.
life on the earth of duration in his 33 years.
So this is Jesus Christ.
And Jesus Christ,
Jesus Christ.
with his 12 apostles,
Okay.
and then perching all over the world. And those are the Roman soldiers. They were going to kill Jesus and his apostles by throwing their arrows, but the arrow couldn't attack, but it falls down on the ground. All the arrows are goes bending and falling on the ground. And after that, Jesus was captured and
come back here. Okay.
Jesus and captured and taken to the Roman emperor.
Okay.
And he was asked to do what he was wrong by the Roman emperor. He was doing that nothing. He just preaching that he tells the people that he's the son of God and he's the king. But the Roman emperor couldn't accept him, and finally they crowned him on the nails and all his histories, and finally he became crucified there.
So these paintings are from the 13th century.
Yeah.
That's 1200 and something. These paintings were here. Now, y'all can see now the afro. This depiction is how Christ was.
Yeah, everything with
Black skin.
Black skin with the afro hairs as well.
Okay.
Not only him, also his apostles, also his followers.
Followers.
Black
Yeah.
faces. And the second one is on the.
He said everybody was all black.
He said all black. He said, see his followers, all black people, all niggas. Easy.
Wall painted on the pillar. On the top of there, we can found the three wise men. We call them Balthazar, Melchior, and Gaspar. They were the kings from it.
That was it though on that. Hold on, Qanath. I'll be right back. My kid's coming. Qanath, take over. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I tell my brother Kadadro Kahangwa speaking. That's y'all ain't speaking.
Qanath, take over. I'll be right back.
Yeah, man, that's just emphatical proof, man. We ain't making this stuff up. The depictions over there show people that look like us. You don't see no Mexican, you don't see no Native American over there. Ain't no depictions over there. They don't have no traditions. They ain't got nothing over there that belong to them. Ain't nothing. So it's just one big lie that needs to just come off, and just people just need to come out of it.
You know what's interesting? It's like the Ruach HaKodesh is the author of the current age. And if you come against him, then all of the power of the domain of the Most High is going to come against you. The whole house is going to come against you. Trip it. He said that if you deny him when he's beckoning at your heart with the truth, in other words, you're blaspheming who Yahushua is, there's nothing for you.
Well, they blaspheming that, but they hating themselves.
But there's nothing for you.
So I look at it like
I gotta look at my young brother that just came on here from Nigeria. And how can you try to deny this brother, right? He like everything that's on the wall, everything about it, know the history, but you'll deny him and bring in other people and try to say they Israel. My brother, can you speak on him?
Qanath, real quick. The second point that I wanted to make was this: if you're denying what he's saying in the present age, you're doing the same thing. You're doing the same crime, which the Most High already told you was.
They don't care about that.
Yeah, I know they don't, but it's just kind of interesting. Anyway.
Right. Wait up.
Salama.
Shalom, most I bless.
So again, if anyone who believes in the church, I strongly urge you to reconsider. I strongly urge you to, for whatever reason that you think that chart is real, whether it's whatever is selling you on the chart, whether it's the women that the chart gives you quote unquote access to, whether it's for beefing up the numbers for no reason, as if our own numbers are not enough, whatever reason it is not worth it. You can't put the price on the truth, and the truth is that every single tribe or every single son of Jacob and the tribes that come from them thereof are Negro so-called black people. You can't pick one or two tribes and then give them and give that tribe's identity and give that tribe's heritage away to other nations. People are saying the tribe of God. If you're looking for the tribe of God, look in Africa. God itself. I'll let people know in the scripture. If you look in the modern Yiddish Hebrew, they say God means or truth comments. Where did they get the breakdown of that from? They got it from the African languages. In my language, what people are calling God is actually Ogunde, which means a troop or an army arrives or comes. In West Africa, there's a group of people called the Gadambe people, and these are people in Ghana. They also have connections to both the tribes of Gad and Dan simultaneously. And if you look at Gadambe, it's usually hyphenated with Ga and then hyphen Dambe. So I strongly urge people to look and deeper than the name, also look at the prophecies concerning these certain tribes. All the prophecies that you see concerning the tribe of God, do these other nations of people that they claim are God fit the prophecy? We know that that tribe is a warrior tribe, is a warrior tribe. Do they meet this criteria of being like warriors who were overcome, but then they ended up overcoming their enemies later on? Do these other nations fit the description? If they don't, then you can go ahead and rule them out as God, because they do not fit any of the prophecies that concern God, as well as they do not look like the other children of Jacob, who they are supposed to be their brothers and sisters of.
Right. The thing about it, I see somebody laughing on here on a comment board, but I don't understand the fear. What's wrong with sitting down and talking about it? I mean, a lot of people say they're gonna do it. Then it's time to step up to it. Just do it. I mean, you're wrong, you're wrong. And say, damn, okay, then move on and work on it. Work on it. The people that y'all say this Gad ain't fitting not one curse. Not one. Y'all keep on saying we're in the end days, Then you use the scripture, Gad go overcome at the end. Well, how the hell they gonna overcome? They ain't listen to y'all, they ain't even wake up yet. I don't know, man. Oh,
Hey, Gad could be Haiti, but the end hasn't been determined fully yet.
Man, a lot of people in Haiti ain't gonna do shit. A lot of them over there in the
Okay, I understand.
No,
But
I'm not talking about. And the reason, listen, I say that because the Haitians already won too, and I know why you said that when they conquered. Was it the French or the Spanish? Don?
The French.
Yeah. So a lot of people use that, but they in the witchcraft heavy too, just like everybody. I don't think it's them. I think the people over in certain parts of South Africa definitely fit it. And I told people to do this one time before. It's hard to do because they take it down. Look up the civil rights movement in South Africa during that time. You're gonna think you're looking at the 60s in America. It's the same damn shit. Same shit. These black people had on suits and ties back then, like they wore back then, in old black and white cars, the same thing. They call it apartheid here. They call it the civil rights movement here. And when you look at it, you're gonna say, wait a minute. Same thing. Same thing. It's gonna look exactly the same. But yeah, going back to the chart, man, they to me, they know it's a wrap. And they slowly but surely change it. But here's the thing. We telling everybody there's no such thing as a chart. Period. We just play around and say Negro only and put a chart up. But overall, there's no such thing as a chart. Period. Period. If you want to say you could just put up the whole world and say Israel scattered abroad, that's the best chart you'll have.
You can't even find a chart in the Bible. That 2 stick stuff, you already broke that down. That don't mean that does not mean a chart. That Ezekiel does not mean a chart.
And Don, I gotta agree with Don P on this part right here too about the eldership. Somebody could be elderly, right? But to me, a person that I will consider elder somebody who's wise. He gonna lead the youth, or she gonna lead the youth the right way. Now you got crazy elders or elderly people too. So some people just elderly. Some people say elder, as far as he's over or she's over a certain age. But that's a term of endowment also, and looking at a person being wise, they're gonna lead people the right way. So some of these people, man, they ain't no damn elders. Go ahead, I fall back. Who would want to say something?
Nah, I understand. I agree. I agree with that. That dude, he's not an elder at all. I mean, telling somebody to, what I'm saying, you want to rape somebody and take little girls and stuff, man. Nah, man, that ain't. That's not an elder. He didn't do. He's destroying Israel. So I can't give that man no respect. But yeah, this chart, I mean, it's pretty much null and void, man. It's been debunked. People just holding on to it, man. Just holding, because they ain't got nothing else to do.
Who said something about raping somebody?
Nah, I was just saying. Regards to you know what I'm saying, called an elder. I mean, called that dude elder and stuff like that. Elder Qanath spoke on it. I was just laying back and off of him. But I was just basically saying, man, they even put this chart out there, man, to play the community and put it out here, man, to just to deceive and divide, and talking about that we cause division by talking about the chart. Ain't that something? How we causing division by wanting to discuss the brothers on the chart. That's
Trying to find that brother that
that's
was on the board earlier. He was saying something about we don't know what we talking about. His people, and he left a scripture, and I told him come on the show. But this is what I'm saying. Every time this stuff happens, they always send somebody that look like us. You ready for round 2? Oh Lord, you ain't ready for round 2, Israel. Go ahead, jump on there if you ready for
Who was on for round 1? Where was round 1?
Always a
He's ready for round 2.
We did round 1 yesterday.
But he's a good brother though.
Bring him on.
Yeah.
He is the ones like Elder Tahar said. They brainwashed him. Brainwash them, make them believe in whatever they want them to believe.
No. Nephew, they brain dirty him. Let's see if we can come and bring him over here and wash his brain so it's clean.
I see what you did there.
He said that he believes Israel is all black, but then he says, I guess anybody could be an Israelite, in that terminology, but you can't be Israelite. You got to be Israelite by blood, So
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. But which blood are you talking about? Because it's about seed. It's not about blood.
Oh, so he's one of the ones that believe. Because there's some brothers out here. There's brothers that are out here that believe in the chart, but believe they are Negro.
It's about seed. It's all about seed.
Right. But still, even then, we still believing in that dogma lie that's being taught. That chart, man, and going, like I said, that thing is not found in the Bible nowhere, man. That's just some man got to pull it out the side of the net, man, to make some money.
That's a creation of man.
That's a creation of man. People, their charts be debunked.
So, I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you. Other than pulling people out of the gates of hell, that's about as much attention as the Most High wants us to pay attention to that. Because there's a whole lot more going on in terms of catching up into the book, getting into the book and catching up to the book and where the book is at and what's going on in the world.
Hey, the other races came from Noah. When they all split up, brother was asking a question. They all come from the different seed lines. That's where they come from. And then you have what you call the mingled people. The mingled people, what the Most High referred to as mingled people, is people of mixture, hybrid blood. That's all they are. That's why we call them manzars or mingled people. Mingled people all through the scriptures. You can find it all through
other races being created right now as we speak.
From people mingling.
Hey, Qanath, you know what the Most High revealed to me the other day? And it was based on some other reading that I had read earlier, like when he was talking about the chief sin of man and the chief pitfall of man is lust. And so, when the Most High said, okay, I'm gonna deal with this world, and I'm gonna add this period of time called antediluvium. When he dealt with the world and then he created this new world, it was with the purpose of wiping all of that stuff away. But because of man's lust, see, he took the world then and said, okay, you stay over here. Oh, see, that's another thing with the world system. The Most High was about a separatist. He was about separatism. You go over there, you go over there, you go over there, and y'all niggas stay in your places.
Hey, Big 58. Come on and I'm sorry, Don, real quick. Please forgive me, but Big 58. Oh, big. I can't. I guess big O 58.
Big is Big O 581.
Okay. Come on here, because I'm trying to figure out like what are you trying to say about Noah? Just, trying to figure out where you're going with that. That's all. Go ahead and ask the question.
Got you.
Where you going for with that?
Nobody's saying Noah had sons of different races. Everybody was
No.
damn near black people. But
folks saying
some people believe Noah was an albino. Like I said, that's not in the Torah nowhere, but some people believe Noah was an albino. But when you look at the original Chinese and Japanese, they was a dark-skinned people with woolly hair too, before their phenotype got changed by
they still in certain places too. You can find those shams.
Right.
Still exist.
Exactly.
The bulk of them, because of the mixing of the Greeks and the Romans, lighting them up like that. So you got to understand the history of doing a conquering. When you had, remember, you had Persia, the Persian king Xerxes. He ruled 170 provinces, and he conquered a lot of land. But they was overtaken by Alexander. Alexander conquered Egypt, Babylon. That's why when you go down to Egypt in the later dynasties, you have the white pharaohs and things like that. You got to remember, they've been mixing a lot for years. So people been getting changed. In the Israelite community, they always teach that black is the most dominant seed, like we can't be wiped out. But that's not true. That's a lie.
Yeah, let me see. Like, hold on. Let me prove
we can prove that.
Why you doing that? Why you doing that, Qanath? No, Sham is 100% right. It's called third cross. See, once you get to the third cross, it's white. And that's when reparations start getting paid, because now they're paying Becky Ann and Darren. Look at Australia as a case study.
He says, so you actually believe that Noah was a real person? Well, do you believe you're a real person? You here today. So if you die 100 years later and you written a book to your family bloodline and your grandchildren say, well, do we really believe that this guy was a real person? That's a dumbass question.
Look at this
It's funny that people always say things like that.
Right.
How many generations of your family can you go back to say if somebody's real or not? Because when all of them wiped out, how you know that they're real?
So check this out. In the pictures, we're looking at the first cross and the second cross. The first cross is holding the second cross. So now all you need is the third cross, and you're done.
Right.
Now motherfuckers are gonna be paying reparations.
Right. Right. So this man right here, Drake Daddy, got with this woman. Drake got with this woman and made Adonis.
First
so
cross.
and you trying to what the camps is. This is what the camps are saying, edification purposes. The camp saying since he got with this woman right here, Drake is an Israelite, and that would make Drake's son an Israelite. So if Drake's son give with some, they trying to say that it's infinite amount of time. So
no,
with the seed
pretty much. I'm gonna tell you what we're looking at right here. Drake's seed line is pretty much already whited out. His son is pretty much done. Drake should have breeded back in, but he didn't. But since Drake didn't breed back in, his son 9 out of 10, he going to get someone that looked like his mother.
Well,
you feel me? And when he have children, hold on, you cut me off. Let me finish though.
I'm sorry now.
When he have children, his seed line, Drake's son, will be fully polluted and whited out for good. They done. That's what's going to happen. That's all. They're going to be wiped out, and they're going to look like a whole nother nation of people. That's exactly what he did. That's all I wanted to say.
Right.
Go on, P.
Yeah, no, that's the third cross. That's the third cross, nephew. Once his son marries a Becky,
yeah, it's done.
It's a wrap.
Just like Blake Griffin's son. It's no different.
It's a wrap.
Once they marry intermarry with another white woman, Their seed line is completely wiped out because it ain't gonna be no melanin and none of that coming back because they can't reproduce themselves. They already moved.
In fact, I'm glad you said that, Sham. People don't realize through my research, you let a cut out the bag. The original father, like Drake father, that can go down to like, according to science, 0.1% of being a so-called Negro. Wiped out completely, genetics, DNA, everything. All that wiped out within 3 generations completely.
And that's why you got the 3-generation rule. And then see people wondering why that's in scripture when they tell you they got to come back in the 3rd generation because you breeding the blood back in fully, but he breeding out fully. Drake is the 1st generation Manza. His son is 2nd generation Manza. If he have another child by a heathen, that's a 3rd generation Manza, meaning they completely wiped out. Point blank period. You can't breed back in with that.
And
that's what I was
saying.
saying.
Right? That's not what we're saying. Is not racist at all or hate at all. I mean, explain it, because see, this goes back to asking yourself: is if you believe in all that mixing like that, then you don't really have a beginning. You can't even trace your lineage anymore.
That's why I said.
And that's what I was saying.
Your bloodline, your seed line is something of a mixture, and you can't explain it. You can't go back. This is why we keep on saying certain people of Latino or Hispanic, whatever, only go back 500 years.
That's what I was saying. Sham, get out of my head.
One thing
get out of my head, because you know back when the law was written, it was these people. Now they were of Shemitic ancestry, but how many generations? How many crosses? Yeah. Did they need to be purified before they could come into the temple? And that was the point that you was bringing out. That's why I was like, Sham, get out of my head.
Yeah, 3. But go ahead, Israel Judah. Shalom, brother. Most High bless.
Most High Christ bless. How y'all doing, brothers? Thank y'all for having me on the panel. Had a good dialogue today, yesterday, brothers. You know, well, I still believe in the chart, but I do believe all the tribes of Negro, so-called Negro, you know, not these Julio Iglesias, Oscar De La Hoya looking people.
Well, thank you, Howard, for that.
Yeah, I don't. Right. Thank you, Yahweh. Thank the Most High in Christ for that. Yes, sir. You know, but what I would like, if you may, what I would like is you brothers to break down certain scriptures to me to prove that who are the tribes of Israel. You know, because because I believe the Afro-Mexicans, the Afro-Panamanians, and so on, the Afro-Puerto Ricans, the Afro-Cubans, so on and so forth are the children of Israel. That's what I believe. You know, I don't pronounce the chart, but I believe the Afro Latino, so-called Latino, are the children of Israel. Not these other people.
Let me say this to you.
I believe those people to be judged.
Well, you don't have to ask us no question then. That's it.
But now you saying break it down to you and prove it, right? You can't really break that whole thing down like that. Hold on, listen. You can't break it down like that and prove it in scripture. That's what we're saying, and say that this is this actual tribe. You can't really do that. When you go and look at our Genesis 40, breakdown of the tribes,
49.
It tells you what the tribes was doing and what they was doing and helping each other. It had nothing to do with a location or where they would be at. That's what we're trying to tell you. It didn't give a location. It said that I think it dealt with Issachar and Naphtali about the rivers and the waters and how they was trading. That was during a certain time period where their lands was at. That's not talking about today in the Panama where they got all them boats and all that stuff. It has nothing to do with that. So you can't pinpoint the tribes like that.
Yeah,
what we saying is how you pinpoint the tribes is children of slaves. That's who they were that was scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. So you can look up multiple, even from simple Google searches, where was the slaves at in South America? You can see what the ships brought them, with year and all that. But when they was grabbing the slaves, they wasn't grabbing this tribe here, that tribe there, and throwing them all on one boat and shipping them down there and saying, hey, these are Judites, these are Levites, these are Issacharites, these are Gadites. You see what I'm saying? So you can't pinpoint a tribe at this location and that location and that location and saying, hey, these are all Levites, these are all Gadites. The Lord said he will scatter us, meaning he scattered Israel together as a people, not a certain tribe just going to be here and a certain tribe going to dwell there. And he separated Israel. Did that not happen during the slave trade?
But not only that, Sham, if you're going to believe in a chart, then you have to believe in something they haven't told us, but told us how it's happened, but never explained how.
Elder Baruch, he could come on. He was in a service. That man been all over the world. And he would tell you ain't no Hispanics and Mexicans, ain't none of the places where you think. And the people actually told him that he was Yehudi out of their own mouth. But they call them new blood. That's what they say they call them people.
Right.
Now, let me say this real quick. So, yeah. So, again, if you believe in a chart, right? Let's take color out of it. All right. Let's not do what they say, accuse of what they let's not accuse them what they accuse us of, right? So let's take colorism out of it. Because you believe Israel is all Negro, so do we. But to believe in the chart, then you got to believe how they got over here. Because they're saying that
second Esdras.
Right, second Esdras, right? That's how you get Puerto Rico's this, because they went this way and because they went that way, but they never showed us in biblical history, right? Or world history books where they said this boat was loaded with Simeon. This boat was loaded with Issachar. They never say that. They just say they went down Euphrates River. So to believe in the chart, you got to start believing in a whole lot more doctrine. The Euphrates River, right? You got to start believing in that. Then nobody actually showed us how they navigated through, how they separated the tribes. Why would you put, how asinine is this? If you're trying to conquer a people, I'm going to put all of them in one damn basket on here and another damn basket there. Look, it's common sense in history proving they always separated the families. Come on. We got to start thinking logically, right? Because if you say you believe in Negro only, I mean, that's great. But to believe in a chart now, you got to believe a whole lot of things. You got to believe in the ships. So can we start there before you ask us one question? Do you believe that they took ships and they placed this tribe here and that tribe there? And you got to show it to us, prove it to us. Because we already proved that shit don't exist. So can you prove to us? You got to start off the ships first, my dear brother. In all due respect. Go ahead. Start off the ships.
Well, okay. Well, this what a lot of your brothers don't get. This was the Most High's doing. And as the scriptures say, in 1 Corinthians 14:33, the Lord is not the author of confusion. So we're looking at it from a carnal term. Like, yeah, they didn't say this was Simeon and this was Simeon, but God knew who they were. God knew who the tribes were. And the Lord is not the author of confusion. So when he brought us into the land of Israel, right, he didn't mix us all together. He did it orderly. He says, this tribe's going to have this part of the land. That tribe's going to have that part of the land. This tribe's going to have this part of the land. So the same way in captivity.
Hold on, brother. Wait a minute, brother. I'm interrupting, right? Because what you're doing, and all due respect, what you're doing, you're casting deep spells here. Because you're trying to make us think about well, who knows God? And then you go to this real quick. You go to these. You went to 4 different topics where I lost my thought process. Right. I had one thing I haven't forgot what I asked you, but trying to follow you is leading me away from the question that I asked you. Right. And I know all about that. I know how that's.
I know how you operate.
Well,
trust me. So I don't
I know how you operate too.
We know God. We know what God know. We know He set up all of this, right? And to use the word carnally, right? Right. I catch the shots, all that. So I'm gonna ask you the question. Don't go into the other stuff. The ships and when did they tell the tribes to get off here and get off there? Those are things you got to prove to us, right? So again, you believe in that chart, you believe in them ships. So where did the ship port start? And what time period they start coming? And was this the land of Arthurus?
Okay.
Just let you got to go down.
I'm gonna
Let's
just
go.
to the best of my ability. Okay. I don't just lean on second nature. That's one scripture. But the Bible say precept must be upon precept. So I take certain other precepts to get the understanding that the Most High is trying to give us through the scriptures of who the tribes are and where they're going to be. So let me go to Deuteronomy chapter 33, right? Let's start with the children of Joseph. Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 13, right? It says, and of Joseph he said, blessed of the Most High be his land, right? And for the precious things of heaven, and for the dew, and for the depths that crouch beneath. Now, we'll jump to verse 17, to the point. It says, his glories, talking about Joseph, which is Ephraim and Manasseh, is like the firstling of the bullock, and his horns, we know when it pertained to horns, like in Luke chapter 1, verse 10, he say he raised up a horn of salvation, meaning his leaders, right?
Hey brother, listen, what you doing? You give the same breakdown that we already done before. That's a one-verse breakdown. You alluded to the ships, brother.
You give the same breakdown, and we already destroyed. What you're reading have nothing to do with what you say. We already destroyed that.
Well,
Deuteronomy, the 33rd chapter, etc., and Genesis 49. We already destroyed that, brother. That's not what you're saying. Is not what
you can't destroy the word.
Listen,
you
what
can't
are you
destroy
saying
the word
is not. It's not what it means. You way over.
I hear what you're saying. But let me bring it out. If it's destroyed, let me bring it out. Right? It's already destroyed. Right? So I can't read it.
Hold on, brother. Hey, brother.
You asked me a question.
Hold on, Yehuda.
We don't need. Listen, we don't need to hear it. We already heard it. Listen, we already heard it 100 times. We know exactly what you're going to read, brother.
We're not going to let. Listen, I'm not going to let them do that. This is what I want you to understand, my dear brother. You cannot come to a platform and make the rules, right, and duck and say you answering because you try to play some madness like we challenging the word of God. Don't do that, right? Two, you bypass the ship thing again. You want to give me, oh, they got feathers, they got bows, they all. So this makes them that. And we told you it doesn't, and you keep on skipping the ships, bro. You got to go to how they got here first. How they got here. So let me ask you this one question, brother. Were them Indians that you about to say Gad? They come. Where did they come from, bro?
It came from the Assyrian captivity, from the land of Israel.
And there we go. See, there we go. If they came from Assyrian captivity, you can't just say, well, I'm not going to deal with that.
Which is a goddamn blasphemous, one West, all y'all, lie.
This is why I won't allow you to go to Deuteronomy.
Get the fuck out of here with that, bro. We're not hearing that no more. You can't get out of second Ezra. You cannot get out of second Ezra.
How did they get over here, bro?
Calm your spirit down, brother.
How did they get over here?
Huh?
How did they get over here?
In ships.
Okay, there we go.
In ships.
Now let's go there again. Remember, I asked you 10 minutes ago, and you diluted, but see, the spirit, right? Like a lot of brothers like to say.
No, I didn't dilute it, brother. Okay, I didn't know that you was asking me that.
Get to the ships. Get to the ships.
Okay. Can I read this and get my
lie. They did not take no damn shit. That's another lie. Okay. We don't have to listen. We don't have to listen to you read Deuteronomy 33rd chapter. We heard it 1,000 goddamn times. We know exactly what you're gonna read.
Okay,
No,
that's
true,
fine.
no,
That's
no,
fine.
true,
That's
no,
fine.
true.
Well,
We don't need to hear that shit, bro.
hey,
Let him
brother.
stay in
Well,
second
I don't know
Ezra.
what he's about to read. Hold on. We gotta
Black
have.
devil.
We gotta have.
Keep this black devil in second Ezra.
Look at this brother.
Don't let him
Brother,
leave second Ezra.
Look at this brother. Look at
brother,
this brother.
we're doing that, but we can't. We gotta keep order. Go ahead, brother. Show us how they left Assyrian captivity and took ships.
Okay.
I spit in here.
Okay. I'm gonna read verse 17.
Yeah, keep his ass.
Right?
Keep his ass right there in second Ezra.
Hold up. Go ahead.
Okay. It's talking about Joseph, correct? Okay. It say the glory is like the firstling of the bullock, and his horns, his leaders, are like the horns of a unicorn. Unicorn was a deer, right? The deer with the antlers, all right? A unicorn. You look it up, right? And with them, and with these horns, these leaders, he shall push the people to the ends of the earth, right? From one end of the earth to the other end of the earth.
Let's talk about Joshua. Let's talk about
earth.
Joshua. They're not talking about no goddamn Ephraim.
Okay.
Let's talk about Joshua, the patriarch, dummy.
So he pushed. So the ends of the earth is. So Joshua pushed them to Israel.
Hey,
That was the
listen.
ends of the earth.
To the
Israel.
ends of the earth.
Listen,
exactly.
brother. Listen, brother.
You don't even know what the ends of the earth means. You don't even know what that means.
Hold on, bro. Don't you believe in timeline?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so what you're reading is that the time period of the Syrian captivity where they took ships and where they get the ships from?
Where they get the ship from? They could have. Well, I don't know. Maybe they.
Oh, there we go. There we go. You're not qualified.
But I know
to be
they.
That's one part. Hold on. Wait a minute. Now, do you believe in the same verse the same verse you're reading?
Hold on.
Does it have anything to do with the Syrian captivity and timeline?
The Syrian captivity, right? Because it say.
Does it have
Ephraim?
The verse you're reading.
Oh, man.
Do it have anything to
brother,
do with
y'all
the
won't
Syrian
even let
captivity?
Y'all look, brothers. I understand y'all got your mind made up.
Brother, you know what it is?
Y'all want to ask me 1,000 questions.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna let you roll, but I'm guaranteeing you're not gonna answer it. And what you're doing is, brother, you're trying to go all the way around the damn bond, and the reason why you can't get around it because you gotta go through the door.
I can't get a. I mean, if you brothers keep cutting me off.
I'm gonna ask you a straightforward question. I'm gonna ask you a straightforward question again. Okay, if you believe the scripture, the wicked flee when no man pursue. Go ahead, you got the floor. Answer the question,
brother.
Go ahead, answer the question.
Can I just read and break it down to you? Now, if you brothers disagree, I see you brothers disagree.
Young man. I think your answer would have more value. I think your answer would have more value if it was in relation to the question that Qanath asked you. Because I really want to hear an answer to that question, because he asked you a very, very specific question. And I think that if you were addressing because I almost see you almost trying to address it, and that's why I jumped in, because I almost see you trying to address it. So first of all, let's reset it. Qanath, you had a very specific question for this young man.
Right.
I think
here go the question again. I can answer the first one. Right. So I asked it again. What you about to read about about Gad? Right. Is this during the time period?
Reading about. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Is this during the time period of the Syrian captivity? Because we know the time period, and we know, but we also know what was going on in the Syrian captivity.
Yes.
Right.
This prophecy that I'm reading.
Go ahead. All right. Go ahead. See these ships.
Yes. This prophecy that I'm reading in Deuteronomy 33, verse 17, is pertaining to the time of the Syrian captivity. Okay. Now that answered your question, Elder.
Go ahead, brother.
I want to make sure your question is that. Okay. This was the time to the Syrian captivity. Okay. Now, why do I say this is the time of the Syrian captivity? Because Okay, Israel was divided into two kingdoms. The tribe of Ephraim was the head of the northern kingdom, so-called northern kingdom. And in this passage, Deuteronomy 33, verse 17, it says, his glory is like the firstling of the bullock, and his horns, which represent its leaders, are like the horns of the unicorn, right? The deer. He's saying, with them he shall push the people. Now, what people is he pushing? What people Ephraim was over? He was over the 10 tribes.
That's talking about Joshua that's talking about Joshua the patriarch, dummy. That ain't got nothing to do with what you talking about. Nothing.
Yoda is joking.
Exactly, dummy. I'm tired. Yo, I'm sick of this shit, bro.
I mean, Joseph.
They ain't got nothing to do with what you talking about, bro. Nothing.
Okay. You want to be ignorant, brother. You real ignorant, brother. You real ignorant. Okay, I'm gonna read it again.
You the one coming here talking about Ephraim pushed the 10 tribes with ships. You the one talking about ships, nigga. What you, man, get the hell out of here with that. Ignorant. Who talking about some goddamn ships?
We already know he's wrong. Let's see where he's going.
Calm down, angry. Come down, angry man. Calm down, brother. You so angry. Okay, let's go. He said he shall push the people, meaning the 10 tribes, together, because they was together, right? To the ends of the earth. Okay. And they are, now it's telling you the number, and they are 10,000 of Ephraim and are 1,000 of Manasseh. So when we go to second address, 13, okay, brothers, it's all right. Okay, verse 41, and it's talking about the 10 tribes, right? It said they took counsel among themselves. Now, who was leading the council? It says the children of Joseph, they shall push the people, meaning the 10 tribes, to the ends of the earth. So who was leading this council? The children of Joseph. So they took counsel among themselves.
That's another lie. Hey, Qanath, let me address after he's done. Let me address that.
Calm, brother.
Right, when he finish, you
calm your spirit, brother. Calm your spirit, brother. Dang. Okay. They said they took counsel among themselves. So Ephraim and Manasseh was leading. Wow, that's brother King. He that keepeth his mouth, keepeth his life. He that opens his eyes shall have destruction, brother. Okay. And say that they shall leave the multitude of the heathens and go into further country where never mankind dwell. You know, now a brother brought out yesterday, say all of the earth was occupied. Well, then you make God a liar if he say, well, never mankind dwell. So if it's not the Americas, now I want to ask y'all a question. Now don't duck it. I'm going to ask y'all a question. If this was never mankind dwell, we know Africa, you want to say Africa wasn't occupied. No.
No.
No. Hold on.
We got Yehuda. Watch this. Go ahead. Yehuda, watch this.
Hold on.
Go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. Was Europe occupied in ancient times, in those days?
I'm asking that. Okay. We will answer that as soon as you show us them ships.
Okay. All right.
Hey, I answer that. There was many. Listen, I'll answer that. There was many parts of Europe that was not occupied, just like it was many parts of America that was not occupied, just like it was many parts of Africa that was not occupied. You got places in America today where no man never dwelt. So there's your answer right there.
Okay.
Shalom, everybody.
Shalom, Oracle.
Shalom, Oracle. Shalom.
Hey, see you here.
Shalom.
Salam, Oracle.
Yeah, good, brother. We still waiting on the ship.
Okay. Now, okay. Verse 42. It said that they might keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river.
Can I ask you a question?
We went over this yesterday.
Hold on.
Wow, dang.
But you know what? Hold on. Hey, brother, I'm going to tell you something. Now, watch this. Now, I'm going to cut you off, right? And I'm going to let everybody else speak. You can chill out for a minute. The frustration is, brother, you went from Deuteronomy, right? Read 3-4 scriptures there and try to teach. You went to 2nd Esdras, right? And then read like 3 or 4 scriptures. And throughout this whole time, each scripture that you read then had nothing to do with what you were trying to lead them to. This is everything you're doing. We heard you. This is the same one West doctrine you heard. We heard, and it's obviously you're not listening to us because yesterday we spoke on this same thing about what land was it. No, I wasn't one that cut you off. Okay, we spoke about this yesterday where we read in the Bible where other land wasn't ever inhabited, right? We showed you when they used ships. We showed you when they walked, right? We went down, breaking down everything to you. And I keep asking you, but you keep saying, wow. Now I'm going to use one of your words because I asked you yesterday, but I'm going to say, wow, bro. Wow, 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 wow. See, I could control.
You did not show me that they walked.
But hold on. I said, listen, bro. And the reason why you said wow,
we
because
can
you
see
felt
what
like you was
direction the 10 tribes
went.
went.
I'm gonna say wow because I feel like you disrespected my what intellect, brother. I asked you to show me where they took ships, and you refuse to show me. Are you going to actually show me, or you just going to, or you going to say, well, let's take an educated guess, you know? Or common sense will tell you. Are you going to show us where they took the ships over here and then decided which tribe get off like I asked you from the beginning? I don't forget. So I'm going to ask you again. When did they take the ships in the scriptures and get over here? And in the scriptures where they told Gad to get off here and Ephraim to get off there. But the first thing got to always be first, my brother. The first question I asked you before you went on this long thing. The ships, brother. The ships.
And like I told you yesterday, brother, and you know this, because you're an elder, right? You're an elder. The Bible is not straightforward all the time, and you know that. That's what
so you're going to add to it. You're going to add to it.
Precept,
no, the Bible is always straight. No, brother. The Bible
it will give you evidence.
I'm gonna mute you.
It will give you.
I'm gonna mute you.
Give you evidence,
I'm gonna mute
brother.
you. The Bible is always straightforward, brother. It's up to the ones that Most High choose the wisdom, right, to understand it. Right, because the Bible speaks of the earth and all that. So just because you can't fathom or guess what it is and just say, well, hey, it is, but I'm just going to add this here and say that. We went over to
and Deuteronomy chapter.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna ask you something. I'm gonna ask you.
Look, see, now you don't want me to ask you a question now.
No, you already asked him, and I answered it. I said,
let me ask you something.
My answer was this: respect me. My answer was this when you asked the first question. My answer was this when you asked me the first question was when you show me the ships, then I will answer it. That was my answer to the first one.
When they show you the ships,
logically, you should think you asked me another question. I'm gonna ask you right again. You show me the ships, then I'll answer your first, second, third, a million questions after you answer my first one. But since you won't do that, I'm going to ask you to relax for a few minutes so I can let the other brother and the sister speak that came on. So I'm going to ask you to have some respect.
Wait.
They're going to ask me 1,000 questions. They're going to ask me 1,000 questions.
Hey, brother,
I can't ask you no question.
No, because you on our platform. I have a question for you. I have a question, bro. Where's God's borders?
But brother, we all
where is God? Where's God's borders, brother?
Where's God's borders?
Where are the borders of the Most High? Where are the borders? Where are the borders of the Most High?
You talking about you talking about the Garden of Eden, brother? What you talking about? I'm trying to understand what you're talking about. The Garden of Eden.
Where is God? Where is God? Where is God's borders? Where is the land of God that He gave David
the Middle East,
and the house of Israel and Judah? Where's the land at?
That He gave David. Just David?
Brother, Hey, you know the borders of God.
God.
Just be quiet. Don't ask him. No, just teach him, please. Because brother, you saying Middle East, there's no damn thing. It's called a Middle East, right? Then you say Egypt. All you gotta do is say, I don't know. Come on, man. You deal with pride. Go ahead, you just tell him. Don't ask him more questions because he don't know. When you deal with pride, just
The
can't just say you don't
the
know.
borders of God.
No, because I didn't understand his question.
The borders
brother.
of the most. Okay, where the borders of the Most High is what we call Israel today, or Jerusalem. Those are God's borders. Now go back to 2nd Ezra and keep reading so you can see where the 10 tribes went. Go back and read. Don't just stop. Don't just stop where you were. What verse you was at? Keep reading. It lets you know where they went.
I don't like your attitude.
I don't have I don't listen. I don't have my Bible right now. Somebody read it. Somebody read it. Kahan, anybody read. Go ahead.
Kahan, read it. Please, sir. And then Oracle, you can say something.
All you have to do, brother, all you have to do is keep reading. That's all you have to do.
Well, it's okay, brother, but you don't gonna talk to me like that, brother. You know,
Yavin, go ahead. Somebody, Kahan, somebody, please continue to read that verse.
What verse? What verse?
Pick it up where it says God held still the flood. And you got many precepts also in the KJV Masoretic showing God helped doing the same thing, holding still the flood in the Jordan River. The same thing. Yeah, pick it up right there, Kahan.
It said, I'm gonna start at 43. It says, and they enter into the Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. Verse 44. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and he'll still flood till they were passed over.
They passed over the river. Go ahead.
But through that country,
not no goddamn ocean. And also, brother, we in contact with an Iranian historian. He said no ships can go all the way through the Euphrates to the Persian Gulf. So that's another lie that came out of one west. It can't happen. And you have to go through the Iraqi marshlands to get to the Persian Gulf. He said that's a lie. Go ahead, Khan, continue.
Namely, of a year and a half, and the region is called Arsarid.
Arsarid. Just ask Ptolemy, who was one of the Europeans, the first Europeans actually to draw maps of Africa. He located or let you know that Arsarid is in Africa. Go ahead, Khan, continue.
Can I ask you a question, brother?
Wait. Let me finish. Go ahead, Khan.
It says, 2nd Ezra 13:47. The highest shall stay the springs of the stream again.
You know why, brother? Because they're gonna return to the Messiah, brother. All you have to do.
What that means? What the springs? What springs, brother?
Mute this, bro. Mute this guy, bro. Mute this guy. All you have to do is start at verse 1, brother, and you read from verse 1 all the way to verse 44, 40, whatever. You will see it's talking about Christ, brother. It's talking about the 10 tribes returning to hear the gospel. So it says God can hold still the flood of the stream again. This time they came through Africa, brother. Watch this. Go ahead, Kahan. Continue.
That they may go through. Therefore, sawest thou the multitude with peace.
You understand that, brother, if you go back and read, starting at verse 1, brother. Go ahead, Kahan.
But those that be left behind.
Those that be left behind, brother. So many Jews within the 10 tribes, brother, they decide to remain behind. Remain behind where? Read the next verse, Kahan.
Of thy people are they that are found within my borders.
They that are found within my borders. God said that many of the Jews or the 10 tribes, many of them decide to remain behind, brother. Okay, many of them decided to stay in Jerusalem, brother. While the remaining went into Africa, brother, through Egypt. You can get the concept and the precepts and the witnesses in Zephaniah, Isaiah. That's why in the book of Zephaniah, God said his people is going to come from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. Okay, from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. Jeremiah and Ezekiel and Zephaniah, they already knew where the 10 tribes was located. That's what I want to say. Go ahead.
Let me ask this brother some questions. Now you just read to me. I can't ask no questions.
You can't, man. You just gotta listen and learn. But we're trying to show you something where you off. So just listen,
brother. Wow.
I'm saying, like I said, that word. I don't want to have to kick you off.
Yeah, I do, brother. I do like it. Well, you can kick me off, brother. It's no problem. You know, I appreciate it, though, brother. But go ahead and kick me off if you like, brother.
Go ahead, Oracle.
I was going to tell him to go ahead and ask his question, and I'll just ask him afterwards.
I want to ask him a question. Real quick. So, if they came over here like you saying Second Nature say they did, right? And it says they were supposed to keep the commandments, right? How were they keeping the commandments? Right. How were they keeping the commandments? What temple was they sacrificing to? And so they was going for the Passover. They was just going back and forth.
Okay. Did we keep the Passover in the wilderness?
Brother, they have a temple. They had a temple.
Okay. Do you keep the Passover?
They did not have a temple. What was the question?
No. Well, listen what I'm saying. Did you keep a Passover, right?
I keep respectfully.
Do you keep the Passover?
Colossians 2:16.
I'm not going to deal with semantics.
Right.
Right.
See, every time it's like every time I ask you brother a question, you can ask me 1,000
You're a very clever devil, but you're not going to get over. It's not going to work on here. All right.
You can ask me 1,000 questions. I can't ask you nothing.
The Oracle was about to. She asked you to ask her your question. You had none. Some of that Oracle.
Go ask your question.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Oracle continue because I know I answer this right here. Go ahead, Oracle.
Okay, he's back with this claim about and to be clear, you're saying that it wasn't the Mongol Indians that were pushed to the ends of the earth, right?
Right. There wasn't the Mongol Indians, no.
So you're saying it was the black population?
Right. Right.
Okay.
So-called Aboriginal Indians.
Okay. What do you know of them?
Well, I'm from New Orleans, okay, and I lived among these so-called Indians, okay, black Indians. We have a culture that we dress up as Indians, okay, and I know some of them name, some of them I lived right next door to me, and some of them could even speak the language, their old ancient language that they spoke. So I know a good deal about it.
If you don't mind, Oracle, please, because I'm sorry. This is what I asked a few days ago. You just said that old language. What's that language?
I was getting ready to ask him.
I don't know the language. I think they called it by the tribe they want.
Okay, and what's this relation to
familiar.
anything? Okay, well, it don't make sense to ask that question. Okay. Okay, you're saying about the Indians in New Orleans. How did they get there?
They've been there, and they'll tell you that. They are the original people. They'll tell you this. They told me this. I've been hearing this since I was young. They say we're the original inhabitants of America. That's what I'm saying.
But how did they get there?
How did they get here? Well, there's only one way you can get from that side of the earth to this side of the earth, and that's on boats.
Okay. Now you said on boats. Okay. They were on the other side. Why did they come here?
The Most High let them here. To keep like the scriptures say, to keep their statues, which they never kept in their own land. They came here to keep the statues.
So the Indians that celebrate Mardi Gras are keeping a statue.
No, they abandoned him. That's why the Most High sent the so-called white man over here to conquer them and rule them, because they
But you
broke it.
understand
They
that
didn't
that's
keep the statutes.
but you're saying, but you just said in the same breath that they came here to keep their statutes that they never kept.
Right.
So
They
is Mardi
came here
Gras
to
a
keep
part
the
of the
statutes.
statute?
So no, not at all.
Then that
So
that
if
can't
this,
be that can't be the people.
Yeah.
Who are the
Okay.
priests?
Right, or go
Who are
right.
the priests?
hey, can I ask you a question real quick? Or could you, if you, the way you talking, you about to talk yourself out even being an Israelite your damn self. But are you mulatto?
How is that, brother? No, I'm a Negro, brother. Full-blooded.
Now,
So-called African American from the tribe of Judah.
okay, there we go. Now, the reason why I asked you that question because I'm starting to have a sense of something else, and then we'll get there later.
But
What, you want to see me? I could put my face up right here.
I saw you yesterday. I saw you yesterday. Go ahead.
Okay.
But what I'm trying to get him to understand is you can't mesh history. You have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't go 1, 15, 77. It's meshing time. The black people that were here, I don't dispute that. I'm not, please don't think that I'm on the contrary. I agree with you, but they're outside of that Israel paradigm because they were, like you said, they've been here. So if they've been here, there was no need to push them to no ends of nothing if they've been here. That's why I was asking you those questions. How were they pushed if they've always been here?
What they mean, they were here before the European settlers. That's what they claim. They say they claim they came from that side of the earth, and they were here before the European settlers.
But
that's what I was told by them.
Okay, outside of because we know the European as we know him, the Anglo-Saxon, we know he came much later. But what I'm trying to get you, the word did not say where no mankind dwelt that was of Anglo-Saxon or a specific. It said no mankind, no one ever dwelt. That can't possibly be America because there's too many ancient civilizations here. At the same time, you're saying something is happening over there in Egypt. So what I'm saying is you can't be over here experiencing what's happening. It's like you can't be in two places at once. So,
in all due respect, bro, when we ask you questions like that, because that's a killer of understanding, because it's obvious there was people here before what you're saying. So
Oracle.
Just not to answer it is, I mean, can you just please answer it? There were people here.
Okay.
For the people who you're calling Indians and Aztecs and Mayans and all and other names. So,
and they built empires, like the sister said. They built empires. They said that they had empires.
But you're talking about different groups of people. Do you understand that there was a war here? Did you know that there was a war between
yes,
a war in America?
The Mongol,
I'm not talking about I'm talking pre-Columbian. There was a war here.
Right, between the so-called I'm sorry, sis. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, finish what you were saying because you might be saying what I'm trying to say.
I mean, this is what I was told, that they had a war with these invaders, they say invaders that came. Okay, these new people that came, which I believe are the so-called Mongol, Asiatic looking Indians. They say they were warned with these people. Okay. And they also told me they kept them at bay. That's why most of those Indians were found to the west of the United States. They say they fought these in the South. Okay, say they fought these Indians. Okay, that was trying to invade, come in and take over. And they said they repopulated, but they was able to keep them west of the Mississippi. Okay. Now, this is what I was told. I lived next door. I lived next door to a so-called, well, he considered himself a chief or a descendant of a chief, okay, of the, I forgot the name of the tribe. I forgot the name of the tribe, sis. But this is what I was told of him, okay? And he told, that's why when, like I said, I told the brothers, I said, when I seen you brothers talking about the 12 tribes of Israel only Negro,
black.
you know what I'm saying,
Right.
that raised, right, black, that, you know, through the Most High in Christ, I got that from you brothers. I listened to you, I say, dang, that, man, I heard my neighbor used to tell me stories. He was an Indian, so-called descendant of an Indian chief, and they had war with so-called invaders. He called them invaders, you know. That's what he called them, invaders. And but go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
They came and they lived harmoniously and they traded with one another, but it lasted for so long. The Mongol Indians overcame them, killed them off, and assimilated the rest.
Hey, sis, I think what he's
I wouldn't say
talking
he killed
about
them all.
when he was talking about his neighbor, when he's talking about his neighbor, cause if your neighbor don't look like my great grandfather, then he's a $5 Indian.
Hey, brother.
Okay.
He looked like a Negro, brother. That's what I'm saying. They didn't look
Well,
like
my whole thing is this, because you agree
Mongoloid
with
Indian. They looked
you
like
agree that
Negro.
Israel is all black. I get that. The problem we understand that we having is that you're not accepting our breakdown, and we're not accepting yours.
He's not understanding time.
Right, you're not understanding the time
Or
period.
space.
It's time.
Or space.
You haven't spoke on the time or the ships. We just, like I said, at the end of your argument is always assumption at the end. Well, I assume they had a ship. Well, I'm guessing these people was here before that. But us, we dealing with the time and we dealing with the ships. And you, in all respect, you said you don't know the time. You know, in all respect, you said yesterday, you don't know about the ships. So you really answered it, but you still had the same belief as us as Israel being all black. But the chart part, if we can't get past the first two, the ships and the time, we just stick with having the same belief Israel is all black. So there's really no other
because
okay.
That's all it is.
Well, that's what I want.
It's nothing else. It's nothing else.
Okay. If the tribe chart is faulty, like you brothers are saying, who are the tribes? Who are the tribe of
And
Gad?
I'm gonna do the
Who are
same
the tribe
thing, brother.
of
Now you asked me the first question, I answered it the same way. You asked me the second question, I answered the same way. And I'm gonna ask you, I'm gonna answer this third question, like I told you before, the same way. I will answer it as soon as you show me what, brother? What I say?
Not as soon as you show me. Well,
I said I will answer the third question as soon as you show me what.
Now you you don't believe what I believe, right? You don't believe in the chart. You saying
Brother,
it's
we
faulty.
believe that Israel is all black. Let's not fight as brothers.
So look,
the thing is, now you told my other brothers not to get emotional and or whatever like that, calm the spirit. That's what you said. Now I asked you a question, and it seemed like you got kind of insulted about it because you asked me a question. I said, "Bro, you can ask me the same question
because
times, you the same answer." So when you asked me the third time the same different question, but asked me a question the third time, I said, "Brother, what's the answer?" I said, "I'm gonna always give you." And then when I asked you to answer that question, follow me, you won't. So I ask you again politely, no disrespect, and no disrespect towards you. When you asked me a question, what was the answer I said I was always going to give you?
I don't know. Tell me again, brother.
I remind you, the answer will always be, I can never answer any of your questions dealing with the chart unless you show me the ships.
Now you see, that's craftiness right there.
No, that's not
That's
craftiness.
crafty.
That's deep, bro.
not
No, that's not
crafty.
craftiness.
Yeah, that's
You
crafty.
know, because
That's
here's the
very
deal.
crafty.
No,
That's
here's
very
the deal.
crafty because
No,
that
no,
means
no,
he can
no, no,
dodge
no,
my
no, 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 no,
question.
no. When you
Let's
understand
say I don't
history,
know. Okay.
oh,
Let's say
you don't know
let's say this.
history.
I
That's
don't
what
know.
you're
I don't
saying.
know. I don't know about the ship. Now let him
You don't know
answer my
history.
question. Then I don't know.
Okay,
Why
okay,
don't you
wait,
just
wait.
say that
He's
you're
alluding.
ignorant
Hold
of
on,
One
Don.
history?
second, one second.
Hold on, Don.
Okay,
This is
brother,
where
I'm
you're
ignorant.
erring.
You're
If
right.
you
I'm ignorant.
Hold on, Don.
I'm
if
ignorant.
you
Hold
say
on,
Right.
you
I
don't
don't know.
Hold on. Both
I'm
brothers let the
educated.
sister speak.
Wait. Let me just deal
Both
with
brothers,
this real
hold
quick.
on. Both brothers let the sister
Of
speak. Real quick.
history.
Let's get a little bit of. Let's
Order.
let the sister speak. Both brothers, please. Go ahead, sis.
Israel Judah, when you said I understand, you may not know everything, or you may have not arrived at that point. The correct attitude to take would be, let me go and don't hold on to something that you don't understand. You have to go in, because when you were talking to me, everything was I was told, I was told, I was told. It's not actually anything that you study or did any due diligence
Okay.
to find an answer, bro. I don't want you to continue because you're hurling this word ignorant. Ignorant is not to know. You're actually the ignorant one because they did the research. Now you may say that it's wrong, but they've done their research and they've arrived at their conclusion.
Okay.
But you're parroting.
Okay, I agree, sis. I'm the ignorant. I'm
Let
the
her
ignorant
finish,
one.
brother.
Well,
Let her
educated.
finish. Come on, brother. Brother, I don't want to mute you. Just let her finish. And then you can go. Go ahead, sis. Let her finish. That's all.
You should go and do your own due diligence and study and see why they're saying the things that they're saying and not continue to just parrot something and hold fast to it. You get what I'm saying? Do your own legwork and see why
Okay,
they're
well,
saying
I'm
the things that
ignorant,
they're
sis.
saying. I mean, ignorant just means,
Educate me then.
I
Well,
try,
I don't
but
know, right? It means I don't know. Well, educate me
right.
now. Tell me who the
No,
tribes are.
no.
If I'm faulty,
You missed the
Listen
sister's
to what I'm
point.
saying.
You missed the
Listen to
sister's
what I'm
point.
saying. You have to do your own because you came up here and you're staunch on your opinion and you're sticking to it. They're all in agreement. The burden of proof is on you. And when they ask you a question, your answer immediately, I don't know, where it's your job to go and find the answer and then come back. You're ill prepared and you're proud about
well,
it.
aren't you elders? Teach me, elders.
I'm not an
Aren't y'all
elder. I'm
elders?
not an elder. I'm not an
Hold up.
elder.
Hold up. You're doing the exact same thing that the sister was telling you that she was instructing you, brother. Instructing you
Brother,
not to do. Wait. No, let me finish.
You said if I
Wait. Let me,
don't know,
young
say I
man,
don't know. Well, I
young man. Let me finish. The sister told you to go do your research, not ask us so that you can parrot us on some other place. Go do the research for
No, I want the
yourself
answers,
so
brother.
you can speak for yourself. Okay, well, let me tell you something. What do you want to
Well,
know in terms of doing the research, in terms of who Israel is? I'll give you the resources and go do your research. And then you'll have an answer for yourself unequivocally that you've read, not what I told you.
Okay.
You could take that answer
Okay.
and draw your
Well, point
conclusion.
me in direction. What books I need to get, brother? What books I need to go
in terms
research?
of the chart, well, really, right
No,
now.
in terms of
Okay, so this is what we do.
no, in terms of who
Okay,
Israel
hold
is.
on, Don. This is how we do it. If you're sincere about that, right? Before
Yes,
the end
I'm
of the week, we'll
sincere.
probably
I'm
do
sincere.
it. Okay. Before the end of the week, or I'll try to ask Shasham to find a video where we actually showcase hundreds of our books that we accumulated, and also just look at some of the classes that we had, and then you could do your due diligence and see what we right or wrong at, right? Then you come to your own conclusion. So
Okay, there we go.
the whole
Well, there
thing.
we
So
go.
now we have it, because at the end of the day, let's have some meekness about ourselves, right? We all did the best of our ability, including you, but we asked you, when we ask you questions like this, to say you was ill-equipped, and no disrespect, you say you don't know, and that's fine. Because over here, folk, if we don't know something, we say we don't know. And you asked a question, and I answer it just being generous to you, right? You said, well, who are the tribes over here and everything? And folk has always stood by saying, we don't know. because Israel will be scattered abroad. It said we'll lose our inheritance, right? But he started waking us up. So we're waking up. But to say I'm Gad or I'm Levi, just at the third, I would think it could be disingenuous, especially over here. Maybe not as much over there. You understand? But especially over here. And if you could do that, bravo. But it cannot be on the premise of the chart.
And brother, we do everything by scripture. My name is Don P. Ben Yahuda because I work on the probability. This is my level of understanding. I work on probabilities, bro. And the probability is this: because we were so wicked. Yeah. 80% of those who got put on ships was us, was Yehuda. And that's based on scripture. And so where I'm not proud of my heritage, I acknowledge the wrongs of my forefathers, and that's why I'm here. That's why I'm praying out to Yahuwah to forgive me, because I am not trying to be a part of what's about to happen. And it's happening in front of your face while you arguing about a damn chart. These Zionists are making their damn moves while you arguing about a fucking chart. You better wake up.
No doubt. Go ahead, Kadira and Oracle. Kadira, Oracle, go ahead.
Yeah. Israel Judah, do you kind of understand what I was saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, sis.
Yeah, just start.
That's what I was saying. If you're saying I'm wrong, you know, if you're saying someone is wrong on something, right, you must know the answer, right, to it.
Yes, sir.
Right? If you pinpoint it's wrong, so I'm saying, okay, I'm wrong. Okay, I'm wrong. But pinpoint me what's right. Man.
Yes, I'm telling you.
Pinpoint me that's right.
Right. And the people that were here have a calendar that's damn near 3,000-4,000 years old. So you can't start here. That's outside of the paradigm.
That's what I'm saying. But
I'm giving you little breadcrumbs.
Brother, what she's saying is you can't start here, because if you're saying you're Israel, then your history don't start here. It goes right back to
I know that.
It goes right back to where one was left off, and that's Assyria, and they left off stuck there in the mud, and then everything else is creation, their own creation after that, brother. That's what we're saying.
Qanath.
And no one said that Israel will come here and create a civilization the same as Egypt. That's not prophetic.
Hey, Qanath,
that's not.
Can I blow this thing up, man? Can I blow this thing up, man?
No, I don't want it to go. I don't want it to blow up. I really don't.
because here's the deal. We sitting here talking about charts.
Well, that's the topic. That's the topic. We can't change the world, bro. There's nothing I can do about the Zionists.
But we can be aware. But we can be aware of what's going on.
Oh, well, I'm pretty aware.
Yeah.
I hope
you feel me? And what's happening in the Most High's timeline? In the Most High's timeline.
Yeah.
That's what's important. It's what's happening in the Most High's timeline. It's not our. See, he warned us against this.
Well, that's how I look at it, brother. And I think everybody has the spirit of to learn something, right? And whether you are a Bible stumper, believer, whatever, it's something that's intuitive about people to want to learn, and then once you start learning, want to be a part of it, right? And then this the part that becomes a powerful individual. When you come to a hiccup, you keep searching out for the true understanding. Some people, if they can't figure it out, they stop. They stop. On simple things. And if you keep striding forward, you'll come to some sort of conclusions on certain matters, not all. But the scripture says this: forever learning, but never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. Meaning you can't come to all the knowledge of the truth. You're not going to come to all of it. But if you research, right, you can grow, because what we're trying to tell you, my dear brother, everything that you actually learned from under that school of thought, I was there. All the breakdowns that you're given, I used to teach all of it. You know, I'm only being patient. A lot of my brothers can't be patient. My brother Yehuda can't be patient with you because he know what you're about to say. And we like kind of tired of answering that stuff. You know, with history. My brothers and sisters that's on here right now are very fluent in the history here and abroad. So sometimes, you know, you can agree on one thing to bring us together. Israel is all black. But then it's like the sister said, to get into them breadcrumbs, right, and start to feed the belly, to feed the mind. That's all we tell you to do, because you're not going to be able to do this on GMS, ISUPK, IUIC, or any black conscious platform. Come on the way you did, right? You come respectfully, but then you come with the shots and all that. But that's fine. I'm glad you could take it, and we can too. But the best thing to do,
you
like
do shots too, brother. Come on now. Your brother
Listen,
called me dumb, stupid. Yeah, I took that. I ate that. It's okay. That's a part of the
I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate or condone that either. I don't appreciate or condone that either.
I said you took it. So at the end of the day, I just hope you can go back and look at some of the classes that we've done, and that way you'll get a better understanding. If you do that, I promise you,
I will. I will.
You do that, and I guarantee you'll drop that damn. You start there, man. You that charter call, okay?
And Qanath was basically saying he don't want you to be a brother that's ever learning but never coming into the knowledge of the truth of Yahuwah Ha Mashayach. And see, that he is the truth. And if it don't center around him, brother, it's not truth. And a lot of stuff, man, they will get you. A lot of stuff is distraction. A lot of stuff is distraction to keep you from the main points of what's really going on in the Most High's economy. You have the world's economy and you have the Most High's economy. And when he brings you into the knowledge of the truth, when the Ruach HaKodesh shows you what's going on, brother, he said he'll lead you into all truth. This is why I'm talking about what's going on and what you're really seeing. But the thing about it is, okay, we got to move beyond the elementary elements. And he speaks about the elementary elements, but he says, let us go on from this. We can't be caught up in this.
Right, but let's listen. Also, brother, check this out, and I'm gonna let Oracle and Yehuda on. Brother, this is what I talked about growing, right? Because when somebody's teaching you something and they just leave you dry, this is what you'll get. If I give you the seed and tell you to plant in the ground, and you just throw it in the ground, you gotta do something to make it grow, right? I can't give you a balloon, and I just give you the balloon and don't tell you how to put air in it or tie it up, right? That's like the Bible. You walk around with the Bible and they not give you the proper way to use it, right? Or missing out on certain understanding and too proud to tell you they don't know, right? Because I can tell you right now, there's a lot of stuff I don't know in the Bible, right? So once you realize that, that's the key. A person who want to teach you something is going to give you every tool they possibly can. They're not going to leave you high and dry, give you a balloon, and they're going to show you how to put air in it. You know what I mean? Give you a seed, don't tell you give it in the sunlight or put it in water or proper soil, right? So that's what they did with you. They left you over there in Assyria. You one of the ones that been left behind, bro. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Oracle. Then you go ahead.
He asked me a question he wanted to know the answer, and I can tell you how I started. I started with the gods of people all over the planet. I start with their gods because that's the highest form of someone's culture, is their religion, their God, their spiritual system. And that'll tell you a lot about those people and where they come from. And you build on the similarities. They'll leave you breadcrumbs back to where they came from. and you can pretty much gauge it from there. And that's why I said you can't start here. You know, there's no, in the time frame that you're speaking of, there's no Israel anything here. Not even in the smallest rudimentary sense. You know, I mean, Israel never believed in being part a man being part male and part female. Being dual spirited. Like that's what you find over here. Like, no, you can't start here. Like, start over there and gauge it and just study and be diligent. And you're not going to arrive at the answer tomorrow. It takes time. But if you want the answers, you know, you're going to have to do the due diligence. Sometimes it takes years. And
then once you feel like you have the information solidified to your understanding, then you can come and challenge the information and we can have a
right, when you're better equipped. Mm-hmm.
And that's why you see a lot of the frustration, my dear brother. And again, I commend you for being humble. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, real quick, Qanath. I have a question for the brother. Do you subscribe to that chart?
Yeah,
how do you? Wait, I'm trying to hit on something, Qanath. How do you come to the conclusion that the 10 tribes came over? Did you come to the conclusion by believing in the chart first?
Well, no, I did my research. I searched the scriptures, you know, secondary and also other scriptures. Okay.
So you searched the scriptures before ever seeing the chart ever in your life?
No, I seen the chart.
Okay, that's why I want to know. I have one more question. One more question. I gotta let you go because I'm at work. One more question. Was the tribe of Judah and the tribe of Levi, were they among the 10 tribes taken captive?
No.
You say no. So do you stand on that the tribe of Judah and the tribe of Levi was not among the 10 tribes?
To Assyria?
To Assyria.
No, they
did you stand on that? Okay.
No.
Hey, Qanath, we talk later, bro. We talk later.
No doubt. Yeah, just do your studies, brother. I like to look at some of the classes, man.
Okay. Well, okay.
Hey, listen, brother, I appreciate your humble spirit, but I really hope that you really look into what we're saying, you know, because it's rare to have people come on here humble like that. But what the sister said was very unique. And I'm gonna tell you, I wasn't being crafty. If you go back and listen to it, it may seem like I was fast talking, but if you'd have kept up, I think everybody caught what I was saying. You know what I mean? So yeah, just go back, man. You know, just go back and look at it. That's all. You know, everything. All of them you said, but we knew. I know every one of them, brother. Every one. I know it all.
Okay, so they all wrong. They all wrong. They all wrong.
Listen, that whole Genesis 49 breakdown they did is wrong. We went into and showed it, and we're not the first one to do it. Okay, we're not the first one, right? They don't know who tribe they is and all that, man. It's completely wrong, brother. Completely.
I mean, I've heard other people's breakdown. Like I said, I'm not as ignorant as you think. I played them sometimes just to see what you're gonna say. Okay, I'm not as ignorant as you think. I did something, but I haven't researched your information. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't researched your information.
Can I say something to you real quick? Let me say something to you. Yeah. Hey, bro, let me say something to you in all due respect, right? Mm-hmm. That was an ignorant statement to make because you use the word "what we think," right? Because it's ignorant to say that because you don't know
what you know.
Listen.
Wow. Wait. Hey, Qanath.
I want you to listen to me though, bro.
You just did it, Qanath. You just did it.
He
has no idea what FOP thinks. He just told you that.
Right. So that's what I'm trying. I want you to understand something, brother. We not no special anything like that, right? But we are on another level. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. We are on another level. So it's very mindful when you say something to know what to know where you're going with it, because you would get that response from me. and for many others on here. Do we act crazy sometimes, have fun? Yeah. But some things, the majority of we very serious. So to make statements like that, in all due respect, that's ignorant to say, because nobody's saying that you have a percentage on how ignorant we think. You know, we can say somebody making an ignorant statement, but don't do that, brother. All I can do is say, man, Most High bless you. Anybody put the link in the room. Anybody else want to come on before we get off, you know. So yeah, bro, that's all.
Hey, I
So I
appreciate
just
the
go on
young
your
man's courage.
page and I'll find
I appreciate the young man's courage. But what I would tell you this, you talking to Qanath, you talking to the Oracle, you talking to these nephews, and these nephews ain't no joke. Please believe it. Kadari will grind you up in terms of, see, because I know Kadari from spaces, okay? And these nephews will grind you up in terms of history and scripture. See, that's the whole thing. There was something I was thinking about in lineage that you have, it coincides with heritage in terms of who we are, and it does not allow for these other individuals to be participants in the kingdom. And like I said before, I don't even care
Yeah, what I will
about that.
Hey, real
I
quick,
care
Don.
about what's what.
Hey, Don,
Yeah,
real quick,
yeah,
Don, I'm sorry.
yeah,
Hey, brother,
yeah.
the brother Yehuda wanted you to, he said that he meant to say Levi and Benjamin, were they in the Syrian captivity? Levi and Benjamin. Was Levi and
Syrian
Benjamin?
captivity?
Yeah.
No, not to my knowledge. No.
Okay. All right. So, but yeah, Kadidra and Oracle, say, I'm sorry. Say
Hey,
something.
you know what, Qanath, though? You know what,
They ain't been on the minute.
Qanath? You know what, Qanath? Actually, the brother's incorrect.
Well,
Because you had the half tribe of
hey,
Benjamin, and then you had all the cities of Levi that were in the territories of Ephraim. So go ahead.
Yeah, I want to hit my dear brother from Africa, because when you talk about certain things where you need to start, that's one place you should start there too, you know, because that's where our history started. And I know you agree with all the Negro only, but I would say this to you, brother. Let's just deal with some backbone, right? As a leader, if you have a boxer or a trainer, right, you want that trainer to have some sort of experience. And a lot of times when you're dealing with sports or anything, they have Bible debates and all that, right? The person that you follow, they have a record, right? Or they willing to step in the ring because they really stand on what they stand on. Think about this, brother. Who you learned from, right? Ain't none of them standing in the ring, bro. And it's a reason for that. It's a reason for that. So you got to ask yourself the question, damn, why is this guy ducking this fight all the damn time? Then a lot of times you find out why they ducking. You know, you got to ask yourself the question. And just like I like karate pictures, brother.
Yeah.
And then you always got one karate man. His lessons is better, right? A different teacher. They keep elevating. That's all we say.
Honestly, Elder, I did ask myself. I'm like, you brothers, FOPE is saying this. Why nobody never challenged them on this? I asked that question to myself. Like, nobody ain't never dealt with y'all yet on this. Like, I said, okay, let me go in. You know, since people act scared, you know, like scared to bring out the information.
And you know, I'm gonna tell you why, brother. I'm gonna tell you why, and I respect that, and I respect your courage. I'm gonna tell you why, because they've done what you have not done. They actually watched our breakdowns and stuff like that when they use all these different things. And like I said, you've been watching for a while, so obviously you've been seeing what we're saying is true, you know, but they actually seen the scriptures that they lean on be obliterated, right? And it's not to destroy their faith or anything, just come out with the truth, you know.
Okay.
But brother, like the sister was saying, this is ancient civilizations that was here way before a lot of people saying Israel got here. Some of the people in Africa do know what tribe they come from. You know, they was able to hold on to some part of the heritage, you know, so they do know. But these other guys teaching out, trust me, it's the reason why they haven't stepped to the plate. This is why they come in the comment board and harass when it's time to get on the screen. They won't do it. And then a lot of times the people that's trying to defend them is people that look like you and not people who look like who they say the people is. Them other 9 tribes. You know?
Yeah, man, I said, you know, earlier that I totally respect you, and I respect your courage. You want to walk into the lions den, yes, sir. You know, I
On that,
respect your courage, and you know what else I respect? Your openness
yes,
to
sir.
taking information. Your openness to take information, because here's the deal. Once you go get that information, like, you know, the queen was telling you, get that information for yourself. But those are claws. Those are claws in your paws. And nobody can take that from you when you know what you know. And here's the deal. The Most High really wants us to understand the times we're living in so that we can move in the times that he told us are to come. See, we want to be in step with the Most High. We ain't got time for all this other stuff. You understand? We need to be moving as he's moving, because this world is passing away and everything in it is passing away. My objective, and I know my brothers and sisters over here on FOP, our objective is to move into the kingdom that is to come. We need to be aware, yes, of where is going around, you know, what's going around, what's going on around us. But our objective every day is to stay in step with the Most High. Father, am I turning left or am I turning right under your direction today? Be that lamp unto my feet and that light unto my path. And so, you know, sometimes some of this stuff seems silly, but there are souls at stake, and there is the work that the Most High has for us to do in his vineyard.
Hey, do me a favor too, brother. Do me a favor too. Go and look at all our Genesis 49 breakdown. You got it. I don't know exactly. You just keep scrolling down and you'll see the Genesis 49 breakdown.
I put it. I see if I can put the link in the back chat or in the chat too.
Yeah, because we got like one part, 2 part 3, and then once you see that, you can be like, oh my gosh, and then you can watch the second Esdras breakdown, and then you just see a whole lot of other history being brought up in there too, man. Especially with our sister Oracle and Natali, you know, brother Kadiatra and Kahan and Elder Don giving you some wisdom, you know, and Qanath just directing, I guess. I don't know.
So I can find this all on your page. Elder.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, Elder. I can find this all on your page because I'm subscribed to your page already. So
yep, okay. You can find. Hold on. You can find also. Lima and Star put King Judah page in. Also Yehuda page in. But you'll see all our classes there, brother. That's where you want to start. You're going to get a better understanding, brother. I'm gonna keep it a better understanding of what they're not telling you, and they're holding on to a lot. But it's King Judah channel, Yehuda channel, and this is the main channel. But you will get a lot of lessons on them channels. Also a Naphtali channel. So they put the links in the room. If not in a live, it'll be after the show. You'll see the links in the room.
Okay, Qanath. I wanted to tell the nephew. I want to tell nephew Yasharel Yehuda. I want to tell you this, man. I found out about this truth in 2016, right? And I unfortunately went on to these internet streets and ran into a bunch of horrors. Okay. And when I say horrors, prostituting the good news.
Okay, I got you.
And when I found out that, you know, it was revealed to me that there was nothing more than these po-chop preachers, I went back into the white Jesus Christianity and went dormant. But at the same time, the Ruach HaKodesh is telling me, and through the scriptures that I'm reading, that hold up. And thing about it was, the real antagonization was, I had this motherfucker, I'm just gonna say it like that.
No, don't use the word F, no F-bombs.
Okay, add this MF, sorry, but I wanted, the reason I stated that is because I wanted to state this explicitly. The director of Jews for Jesus coming up and speaking to the congregation. And I'm looking at this man and I'm knowing the scriptures. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And the Most High, he's only spoken to me twice in my life, brother, and it was in 2 short periods of time. The first message he gave to me was, come out from among her and be separate. And the second message he gave me some months later was, don't mess around with that thing. Don't put that thing in you. Those are the only 2 times I can honestly tell you that emphatically that was the Most High. So since then, I ain't been in nobody's white Jesus church. Okay? And the Most High done showed me all kinds of stuff. But see, here's the deal. All them years of preparation, all them years of reading the scripture day after day, reading the scriptures day after day, trying to get understanding day after day for 20 years. Can't tell you how many times I read that book. Them 66 books. Oh, but there's other books. And them other books bring clarity. Hoo-wee. And all the stuff they wanted to hide. Let me shut up because I'm on my soapbox. I need to shut up because you know I can go.
I just want to go ahead and get it all out.
I appreciate that testimony. I appreciate that testimony.
You got it all out. But yeah, brother, I want you to start at I don't know what links. I see links, but you'll see the links on Genesis 49 breakdown. Just look at that, man. Second address, and then when you look at them breakdowns. And the channel should be in the room. Lima start putting them up there. I think Kahan put them up there too. But you check that out, man. You'll get a better understanding. And then what you don't get, you know, if we'll try to answer it, you know. But sometimes you gotta watch them twice because the class is always at least 3 hours, 4 hours long. But just check it out, brother. I promise you, once you see that and compare it to what they was telling you, you're gonna realize, hey, man. These guys are lying. Ask yourself this question. If they're lying about the people in the chart they created, brother, that they created, then we gotta understand the chart itself. Period. And that's why we always go right back to the thing before, brother. It's the boats. It's the boats. You know, that started the whole chart. You know, and they can't get past that right there. That's why they don't want to have a discussion at all. Remember, they lied. I'm sure you see them watch this for a long time. They said why they say the reason why Gad and I'm sorry, Ephraim or Issachar looked the way they look. Why they say that happened, brother?
Why they say that happened?
Now they box headed, 5'2", short, stringy hair. Why they look like that now? What was the doctrine? Why they look like that?
They mix themselves among the nations. I'm like,
but what scripture they gave you this for?
We was Hosea 7:8. You know,
right.
Hosea
So
7:8. I think.
Right. So you so did you watch the breakdown that we did? Right. You must have watched that.
Yeah, that's one of the breakdowns I did see. I did see that, and that's what really wrong. I was like,
now you know they lied. So now you know they lied to you on that, right? Now, listen to what they told you, and listen to y'all understanding. They telling you you're the seed of your father, right?
Correct.
Okay.
In the scriptures,
so
I believe that.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, that's what I'm saying. According to the scriptures, right? That they're telling you, okay? Now, you just said earlier in the conversation we had that the Spanish came over here, rape, rob, and pillage this place, right?
Yeah.
So was it the women that came over here and did that, or was it the men?
The men.
So if you so the men was doing the raping. So if you're the seed of your father, what are them people?
Yeah, that's what always struck me. You know, I'm like, how did they look the way they look?
Well,
I'm like,
check
yeah,
this out. They
okay,
always say, well, this is what they say, brother. This is what they say. And look at the logic. They say, it was a black woman and a white man. That's why they look like Julio Cesar Chavez, right? But I don't know if you ever seen a black man and a white woman get together, or a white man and a black woman get together.
He didn't look like that.
They don't look like them. They look like Lenny Kravitz,
they don't look like that.
Mariah Carey, right? They look like stuff like that, right? Maybe Blake Griffin, you know, but they don't come out looking like that. So that's not a white and black. That's something else, bro. There's 4 or 5 things going on.
Right. That's right. And I agree. That's why I was like,
go ahead, Oracle.
I say, nah, these people got to be somebody else. I'm like, you know, I say they can't be.
You got to throw that stuff
a mixed
away.
multitude. I'm like, nah, they got to be somebody else.
Just to give you some, show some history on it. Go ahead, sis.
Yeah, that what happened to them over here, their history basically starts when the ships were commissioned to come over here, because we got to understand their history is unique to ours. It's different. And this is why I'm a sticker for history, because history it tells you what time of day it is. And when you understand the goal of their predecessor, the Spaniards, they weren't coming over here to settle this land. They had the kingdom of Spain. Spain was a kingdom at that time. They had a ruling king with his queen. So these weren't people that were escaping anything, unlike the English that were ran out of Europe. They came here on their battleships. They went to war with these people. They knew they were here already. They knew. Who were Columbus on those ships with? They were on ships with black people, telling them where to go. What they knew the goal was. You can't go and search for something if you don't know it's there. You had to have been there before. So they prepared to come to war with those people. And they killed off the men and assimilated the women, they took the spoils. That didn't happen with the English. Their cake got turned, or whatever they want to say, and their history starts there. That's it. So how could they be the people on the chart when that's their history? It doesn't go past the 1400s. I mean, there are Johnny come lately, new people. That's why you don't find Hispanics nowhere else but where they are. They just got there.
It's safe. I don't mean to cut you off, sis. So it's safe to say, like I told you, my neighbor who told me this history, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they were invaders, you know. So, and he didn't say where. They say they came from the north. So we know what's north of America is Canada, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say they came from the north, okay? And I looked on pictures of the Eskimos, you know, the Native American Indians of the West and everything, and they look like Orientals, so to speak, you know. Would it be safe to say they were Asiatic people that came over from the bear? Because Asiatics are short, right? Short and that same hair texture, correct?
Yeah, they come out of that same gene pool. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's what I wanted. Okay. Because I kind of figured out, I was like, well, maybe they Asians because they look Asian.
Yeah, they
they short and stubby like Asians. They got the same hair texture as Asians. Are they Asians?
Yeah, they come out of like when people, their own history tells you that they came here on foot. But what was on the other side of that ice? Some of their people are still there. I mean, I've never known any civilization, no entire civilization, to just abandon everything and just move. Nobody ever does that. I mean, people stay behind. And when you go look on the other side of that ice, you find Serbia, Russia, and the little pockets. They're still there, doing what they've always done.
And don't get the Americas twisted, because you had the Asiatics that came down through the Bering Straits, but you also had what was also here, what do we call them? Sub-Saharan Africans, us, that came up through the southern portion. So there was two peoples, yes, and then we also came on boats. And see, the great delusion in America is this: oh well, these people that look like us were here, not all these other people.
Brother, we got books that date back to the 1700s that we done classes on.
You know,
and they don't listen. And a lot of stuff we haven't revealed yet because we want to actually say that for a great challenge one day. And that's the hiccup. I will tell you, man, it's enough classes that we've done that can last you for a year. You know, it's catch up time. You know, but at the end of the day, just keep striving, man. Just keep striving. Kadabra. I can't see that name. It's real. I need my glasses on.
Kadari,
yeah. But you got something to say? Most High bless, yeah.
There's a guy in the comment section. I guess he's an Indian or a Mexican. Okay. You want to come on?
Yeah, I put the link in the room. Go ahead, Kadari.
Okay. But yeah, you know, you mentioned, and Sister Oracle also mentioned that, you know, when you identify yourself as a descendant of Jacob, as a, you know, descendant of Israel, all of that, you're not going to start, you know, you're not necessarily going to start from this continent. You're not going to start from the American continent. And even if you do want to do that, if you're going to back trace your steps, it should all roads will end up leading you to Africa, because it's clear that that is where the land is. It's very clear. You know, the Most High gave Abraham land portion, promised him from the Nile to the Euphrates River. Now it's clear where the Nile is. Nobody argues that, but where the Euphrates is you know, is up for debate, because some people believe it's in where everybody believes the Euphrates is, while some people believe that the Euphrates River is actually what they call the Niger River, Niger, the Niger River of Western Africa. So that's, you know, they take that for what you will. But the way I say it, I lean more towards it being the Niger River in Africa, because from the Nile to the Euphrates, where everybody believes the Euphrates is way too small a land portion for the descendants of a man whom the Most High promised his descendants would be as numerous as the dust of the earth. You know, you can't have the Most High. I don't believe the Most High wants us crowded and crammed up in a tiny sliver of land. You know, the Most High, you know, wants us to be in a land that is not just spacious, you know, enough for everybody, but is very fruitful. And the region from the Niger River, which would be where I believe the Euphrates is, to the Nile, the Nile to the Niger River, which is in Western Africa, is where that's like the land borders in terms of that that was given to Abraham. So now all roads should lead back to Africa. Where were the people before they were taken into captivity? They were in Egypt. Clearly, they were in Egypt. During the Egyptian captivity, they left. Where did they journey to? They journeyed into the land of Canaan. How do we find the land of Canaan? When Abraham also went to Egypt back in his day, when he went to Egypt and the Most High told him to leave, in order for you to get from Egypt to the land of Canaan, which is the land of our people, you have to go south of Egypt. And where is south of Egypt? South of Egypt, you are entering what they call sub-Saharan Africa today. So sub-Saharan Africa, definitely, we can see that as the focal point of that section of Africa is definitely belonging to the children of Jacob. Now, from sub-Saharan Africa, then they were scattered. You know, they went through several other captivities as well. You know, there's multiple captivities, not just the current one with the transatlantic slave trade, the Eastern, you know, all of that. So, but from that sub-Saharan Africa, then they were scattered to the four corners of the earth. And out of all these, you know, throughout all these captivities, throughout all of Africa, we can't find people who let's say you have to find people who belong to different tribes. So one tribe specifically, you can't say that Judah alone is everybody in Haiti, or Levi alone is everybody in Haiti. There's going to be a mixture, because again, that's the whole point of being scattered thing, you know, because when they came, they weren't just grabbing, okay, if you're Judah, raise up your hand, we're all going to take all of you that raised your hand to you to Haiti. That wasn't happening.
Right.
All they needed to know was the region. They said, okay, there's people in West Africa. Okay, these people, they do circumcision, they do this, they do that, they speak this language. It must be them. We need them. And then they went and then they grabbed the people that they need. That's literally that's what they needed. That's the criteria they were basing it on. Because if it wasn't that criteria, then they would have grabbed other Africans from other bloodlines that were not the children of Jacob. But for some reason, they knew what they were looking for, because everybody that they grabbed all ended up having the same, the same genetic background on their father's side, on their mother's side, as well as, you know, the same language family. So they definitely knew who they were coming for. So I sincerely urge people to look into the fact that, and when the scripture says scatter, I believe it does mean scatter. It is scattered everywhere. It is very, you can't really point, even within Africa, even within Africa, the tribes that we know, I can't say, it would be very inaccurate for me to say that every single Yoruba person is from Ephraim, or every single Yoruba person is from Judah. I can't even say that, because I know it's inaccurate. There's evidence for this tribe being, there's evidence for some Yoruba people being Judah. There's evidence for being Ephraim. Same thing with the Igbo people. You can find evidence for them being Gad. You can find evidence for them being Judah as well. You can find evidence for being Levi. So you can't just pinpoint one location and then say everybody from that location, when people is from a certain type, when we know that people travel around and people intermarry and all of that stuff happens. But what we can say, a better way to go about this is saying that there is evidence that people who live in this area, some of the people may belong to certain tribes based on XYZ ABC reasons, rather than just putting it in stone and stamping that everybody that comes from this region is from a particular tribe. So I hope that makes sense.
I agree.
Nephew Kadari, I love when you come on, because you bring a perspective from the continent, even though you're a young man. Ooh-wee. I hate to see what you like when you get my age. We know because of the history that Israel is a melting pot on the continent, and that some of us got shipped out to the four corners of the earth. And like you were talking about, was it the Niger River that you was talking about?
Yes.
And I agree with you, because a lot of people don't know that the Euphrates is dried up. A lot of people don't know that. And so that's mentioned in scripture in terms of the crossing point, in terms of what's really finna get down. And it's, the Most High says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. And that's sad, because folks have to pay attention to really what's going on. And yes, we are talking about the charts, but you got to remember all the falsities, all the falsehoods that were placed up on that, saying it's all a confusion. And that's what Hasatan specializes in, is confusion. Because in the confusion, you can't see. If you're not dialed in, if the Ruach HaKodesh isn't your beacon, man, there's all kind of foolishness in this world that can take your eye off of the Most High. We just had 2 weeks of Will Smith. I mean, foolishness. Foolishness. While what's really going down over there, these people trying to establish a new Zion. They're trying to establish a new Zion. Do you understand that? These folks are trying to establish a new Zion in Ukraine, bruh. Back to Khazaria. Back to Khazaria.
I want to say, okay, go ahead, Israel Judah.
No, I was going to say, I didn't want to cut the elder off. But Elder Qanath, Elder Don, Sister Oracle, Brother Kadre, I'm sorry if I get your name wrong. But I have to drop off. I have to get up early in the morning. But I appreciate you, brothers and sisters, for letting me on the platform. But I gotta go right now. drop off. But I
we hope to
definitely
see you
thank y'all
again.
for the information.
We
Yes,
hope to
sir.
see
Yes,
you
sir.
No
again,
problem.
I'll
brother.
be watching.
Hey, brother,
Can't wait
you
to
more
see you
than
again.
welcome. Exactly. Please believe it.
Yeah, thank y'all, man. I appreciate it.
Most High
Love
bless,
you, brother.
Mhm.
Love you, brother.
Most High
Thank
Christ
you
Love
for
bless
you.
you,
coming on.
brother. Love
Love
y'all.
you in the Most High, brother.
Love y'all.
Okay, come
Absolutely.
on back.
Yes, sir. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. I want to add on to what Elder Don P was saying about what's going on the other side of the world. And you know what I'm saying to that? It needs to happen. Because we got to understand the mindset of a person like Putin. He is the pinnacle European. He understands that, just like Hitler understood, that there are false people in the earth. False people, false
Come on, sister.
statehoods,
Come on,
false
sister.
identities, and they need to be done away
Just tell
with.
it. Just tell it.
Hitler couldn't create a big enough oven for them because he knew, and Putin knows, the Ukraine is a false state. You have a false sense of entitlement, false statehood, false democracy, false everything. Same way with these other people over here that we're dealing with. There are false people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that don't have a history that goes into something else. It's false.
They're not human.
And I'll be glad when, it's just like what the scripture says, in that day it'll be as like a chase row, and every man will flee back into his own land. Where the hell are they going? The Ukrainians want to go back home. Some of them want to go back home. They do. Ukraine been at war with itself for years because the people know that they're Russian. They want to go back. That's home to them. They want to be a part of the Soviet. And they want to do away with all of these false people and these false senses of, to be. You don't have the right. And I feel where Putin coming from because it's too much confusion. The hell is a Ukrainian before the Soviet broke?
Sis,
and I get it.
You are speaking. You're speaking straight out of history, because Khazaria encompassed all that land. You know them people, them fake ass people that took our identity. Yeah, them motherfuckers. Them. I'm sorry, Qanath. Them efforts. Now, because time is rolling up, it's rolling up. It's ending. Now they trying to get back right. They trying to get the hell out the land because they know what's going to happen. And that's what this is all about. They trying to move in like 1949. They trying to move into the Ukraine because they know what's going to happen in the land. Hasatan, he knows what time it is. And his children, them little fake children, them is anti-children. Just like
False
they have
people.
just like they have an anti-Ha Mashayach. Yeah, them is anti-children. They got an anti-Mashiach. He got an anti-children. He got an anti-seed.
Exactly.
And so they know what time it is. And you know what is a trip, man? The rulers in their being, in their realm, their gods, all of them, when they crossed the Most High, they all lost their melanin. That's why they all blonde hair and blue-eyed.
Ooh, that's deep. That's very interesting, because you see, the Most High he has an appearance, and we have an idea of what the Most High looks like, because we can see what his word or his son looks like. We have a clear picture of what the Most High would look like, because we have that visible image, which is a manifestation of the invisible Father himself. Now, we know what the Father, we have an idea of what he looks like, or his son looks like. And the interesting thing is that when our adversary imitates something, when the Most High makes something or establishes something, the enemy goes and establishes something similar, but it's always like a cheap copy or the diametric opposite of the actual.
Diametric opposite.
That's what I wanted you
Exactly.
to say.
A
That's what I wanted you
diametric
to
opposite.
say. It's a diametric opposite.
Yes.
But
You
yeah,
hit it.
the people of the Most High are the Most High made His people, and this is not just the children of Jacob, but everyone who comes from both Adam and Eve. He made them from the dust of the earth. He made them to be dark-skinned people with woolly hair, woolly, coily, tightly coiled hair. However, when how the scripture talks about as men slept, the enemy came and sowed his seed. The enemy came and sowed his seed, and the whole situation between the wheat and the tares, the sheep. The Most High makes wheat. The enemy goes, okay, let me go and make my tares. The Most High establishes his sheep. The enemy says, let me go and make my goats. So
My
he's
goats.
always doing something that kind of looks like it, but it's always the diametric opposite. We have dark-skinned people with woolly hair. The enemy goes and say, okay, let me establish a so-called chosen people for my own self. But since I can't copy what the Most High did, I'll just do the diametric opposite, and it's going to be, pale skin with blonde hair, blue eyes, and they'll do that. And that's why we see, if you're looking for the real, if you're looking for the truth, look at what the enemy is doing and flip it around. You most likely get the right answer just by flipping what the enemy does, because that's all he does. He just goes and does the diametric opposite of something. And many people, there will be some similarities, I'm saying, but just because they have 2 hands, we have 2 hands, 2 eyes, 2 legs, and everything, but not everybody walking on 2 legs and has 2 hands is a human being. That's a whole other story. People are very, very different on this planet in terms of genetics. But that's just by the way. I just said let me just mention that, because many people seem to be confused and they can't tell how is it possible for them to be the chosen people when they can't even live that region that region of land that they have been fighting to maintain for how many years. They can't live comfortably there. It's like the land itself is rejecting them in terms of the weather. They can't stand it, but yet they claim to be indigenous people.
They're peeling
region,
in Denmark. So about Africa, they catching skin cancer in Denmark.
Exactly. That so-called state of Israel has the second highest rate of sun-induced skin cancer. How is that possible if you are indigenous to that land? You do not have what it takes to live there, but yet you are the people. How is that possible?
And the Arabs too, and that's why their garb, if I may, the people think that the garb of a Muslim has nothing to do with Islam. They're covering up because they can't take that heat.
Oh.
They dress up like that because they can't stand that heat. It has nothing to do with Islam. Nothing. Like even that, just like what you're saying, it's the same for them because they come from the same place where they come from.
Exactly.
Can't deal with that heat over there. They call it the Middle East, but we know that's Northeast Africa. They're peeling there, and they keep from peeling. Oh, Muhammad said we gotta throw this blanket over our heads and all of that. No, you just can't deal with that. You can't deal with that heat. You're not native to that land.
I'm laughing because in the information I was bringing out, and why the hell they getting up out of there? Because they said they can't last another 50 years. They can't last in that land another 50 years. They got to get the hell out of there. They got to go back to their snow roach country. The land of ice. They got to go back to where they belong. See, everybody belonged somewhere.
Exactly.
And that
You're not
somewhere
of
was where they were
yourself.
assigned to. They were assigned to. And if you stayed your ass there, instead of trying to conquer the world, see, that's why we are where we are. And that's why the Most High said, You snow roaches will never, ever rule this planet again. As a matter of fact, y'all gonna be servants. How about that?
That's the
Because y'all
thing.
done destroyed everything.
Exactly, Other Dompe. The thing is, the Most High created man, created Adam to, to keep the garden, to keep the garden, to essentially take care of the creation that he made. It is the duty of man to watch over nature in terms of watching over the plants, watching over the animals. These people do not fit, they don't fit that, they don't have any regard from just seeing the way they've operated over the years. They have no regard for animal life. They have no regard. I mean, these are the people who take hunting trips, and trust me, Africa is their favorite go-to spot for their hunting trips, and they be hunting for sport. They don't hunt out of necessity to survive, but they just hunt just so that they can carve the head of the animal and hang the head of the animal in their living room for decoration. I'm like, who does that? Who does that? If you're wearing an animal skin, that's one thing. You're wearing it to cover yourself, keep yourself warm, all of that. But they just hang it just because, no necessity, no need for it. Plant life, I can't tell you how many herbs that they have destroyed. I'm sure and the things that news like this doesn't get publicity. I can't tell you how many plants have possibly been destroyed because of the healing properties that they have, because these are the people that are also making money from people being sick. So they have no regard for plant life, they have no regard for animal life, yet they want to claim, they can't be one with nature. They always arguing with everything in nature. They fight with the animals, but yet they claim to be the most animal loving people. They are fighting with nature and vegetation. They destroying all the forest, destroying everything just so that they can build more infrastructure, or they can do this or that. They are also fighting with the weather. They are the ones here, this is something I noticed here. Every summer, they are the little sun that they manage to have every summer, they are chemtrailing all the time. So they always in constant war with the natural order that the Most High has made, and yet they claim to be human beings. I don't see it though. Honestly, the evidence is just stacking up against them that they are not human beings. But it's by design.
Kadari, we understand this. We understand the propagandas and the lies. We understand that the continent of Africa is the largest landmass in this plane. And I say plane because this is flat. This is not a globe. There is a spherical circumference around us, but that encompasses everything, including Sheol. But these people are full of lies. And the other thing is, like I said before, they're people. They're not human. They're not of the dirt where the Most High made us from. They are not from that substance. They are of another substance. That's why they have a different DNA. That's why they have monkey. They got the Reese gene in them. Both these Asians and these other folks. The 10 kingdoms plus Gog and Magog. They got that gene in them. They're not us. Completely different species. You wonder why they can do certain things that we can't do, because our Ruach does not allow us to do that. The only time you'll see us taking a life other than that spirit has been taken over by Hasatan, is in the defense of ourselves or our loved ones. That's the only time you'll see us act. You won't see the children of Yasharel act in any other way except for the defense of their nation and their people. That's it. But these folks like to get off on Kadari, like you said, sport killing, have a trophy, to have an idol. Yeah, this is what I did. See, that's called the pride of life. Yeah. That lion thought he could get me. His ass is up on my wall now. That bear thought he could get me, but his ass is up on that wall now. I done got him. You thought he could get me. That nigga thought he could get me, and now his head is up on my wall. Or his fingers, or his ears, or his nose is in a jar on my shelf. I'm done with this.
What I will say to people, time is definitely running out. Please, if you know the window, the window is still there, but you never know. I would say I would encourage everybody to make your peace with the Most High. The sooner you can, the better. And it's not going to, your journey, your journey in that area will not happen overnight. It's a lifelong process. But please, don't be hard-hearted if the Most High is convicting you of something, and please don't reject it. There's a lot of humbling that you have to be very humble. Humble, and even humble yourself to the point that humble yourself to the point that even if you find out tomorrow somehow that you are not even of the bloodline of Jacob, that you will still be willing to serve the Most High and serve his people in purity. That's how humble you have to be. Because if tomorrow you find out otherwise, there's many people who will just, they'll just throw their hands and give up. But again, remember, you have the ability to serve the Most High. You can serve the Most High in spirit and in truth. And for anybody who does that, there's a certain amount of blessing that will come with that. But remember, the Most High has his people that are still on top, that he placed above all other peoples on the face of the earth. So that's what I'll say. Make your peace with the Most High. Accept the Most High and accept the word of the Most High. And by his grace, it will be well with you. Salama.
All right, Most High bless, man. Like having technical difficulties. Most High bless everybody. We out of here. Shalom, shalom, shalom. You hear Qanath?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, like having some technical difficulties here. Yeah, but so I hope everybody enjoyed the program, man. Thanks for spitting the knowledge. Yeah, I don't know, man. Y'all, nobody wanted to come up against this, so we're gonna keep on doing what we're doing. Y'all want to keep teaching your false stuff, keep on doing what you're doing, but at the end of the day, the Most High see everything. So it is what it is. Most High bless everybody. Bless everybody in the comment section. Leave a star, King Judah, Princess, everybody. Can't mention everybody's name. And Most High bless everybody that came on. To our dear beloved brothers and sisters. Most High bless y'all. I'm out. Shalom, alcoholics. You know later. Shalom.